Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are live from Shelby, North Carolina. Welcome to the Baseball University of the Blue Ridge, Western North Carolina Scout and Streaming Series, presented by CamWood Bats. Live from Shelby on the campus of Crest High School, with the Bulldogs of Burns High School will take on the Chargers of Crest High School. This broadcast is brought to you by CamWood Bats. CamWood Bats located in Haywood County, Western North Carolina, but serving baseball and softball players across the nation. Game badge, trainers, tees, tutorials, and more are available for purchase at www.camwoodbats.com. And as a part of our partnership with CamWood, make sure to use the coupon code BBUWNC for a 10% discount on all purchases throughout their website. And you'll be seeing that a lot during our broadcast tonight. We're live here. Crest is fishing up infield. Looks like Burns is about to go take infield. Excited to be back at Crest High School for a second time this season. We're over here, second game of the year, to watch West Henderson take them on, and they defeated the Falcons. Now we're here to see the 5-1 Burns Bulldogs battle the Crest Chargers, who are 3-2 in a Cleveland County rivalry here. Coach Cook is going around getting our lineups. We got here a couple hours ago. They killed the JV game today because of the weather. You can kind of see from the sky on your screen right now. The front's moving out, so excited to get a nice game in. Hopefully no sprinkles come, no bad weather, and we might get a little bit of sun for the next 30 minutes or so. But yeah, excited to be out here week 2 of the season. Week 2, week 3? Week 3? I think we're actually on to week 3. We are on to week 3. First game of week 3. Ryan just sat down, so maybe let him tell you about what he's been up to. I know he's got some things he wants to talk about here in the pregame.
Oh, man. Been driving all morning. Drove up to Waynesville, got some new CamWood Bats for the Player of the Game Awards. Swung by, grabbed the Poppy's popcorn because we're going to give Wyatt McSwain his certificate and bag of the Asheville mixed Poppy's popcorn here for his week 1 Player of the Week honors. And then, I don't know if we announced it yet, but week 2 is some good nominations this week. But, man, I was really impressed with Caleb Cloninger getting the W over East Lincoln, complete game, 11 Ks. So Caleb Cloninger should be stopping by this evening to pick up his award and his bag of delicious Poppy's Asheville mixed popcorn. But, yeah, with all those nominations, sometimes you got to put some weight on the meaning of the game, and East Lincoln's a good team, and for him to go the distance, I think he was no-hitting them through 5 innings, 2 pickoffs in the game. I know Caleb pretty well. He's a good arm, and he's heading to Cleveland Community College next year to play for Coach Grigg and staff.
Well, as we enter the pregame here, Meineke is our pregame and postgame sponsor for Baseball University of the Blue Ridge, Western North Carolina Scout and Streaming Series. With numerous locations in the Western North Carolina region, there's no better spot to get your vehicle seen and serviced. Whether it's an oil change, brakes, mufflers, tires, wheels, AC, you name it, Meineke is doing car care right in Western North Carolina. Well, how about these two coaches, Ryan?
Well, Alex Leonhardt, I mean, he's a winner, that's for sure. He's won, was it back-to-back state championships?
I think so, yeah.
Hey, y'all back-to-back state championships, or was it runner-up for one of them?
We won it in 23. We was runner-up 24.
That's right. So 2 straight state championship appearances, and I know that runner-up last year is smarting a little bit, but you know, Coach Leonhardt and Burns, I mean, they're winners. They've been 121 wins to 44 losses in his 8 years. 2 years in a row winning those Western finals. They're hoping to make another deep playoff run in 25. And, you know, to challenge themselves this year, they tried to load up on their out-of-conference schedule. They play South Point. They got North Lincoln on the schedule. Just lost to T.C. Robertson 2-1 on Friday in a walk-off. Yep. They got Tuscola coming up later this year, Lincoln Charter. And then, again, their conference, although it's a 1A, 2A split, that Southern Piedmont, you got some good Cherryville, good East Gaston team down in there. On the other side, Coach McFarland, it's his 4th year as the head coach, his 7th year overall at Crest. Took over for Coach Hodge back when he retired in 2021. And, you know, Adam's been doing a great job climbing the ladder and building baseball up at all levels. And here at the Crest neighborhood, he was 4 years at their middle school team, 4 years at the Junior Legion team. They actually won a Junior Legion state championship when he was at the Rutherford Post. So he's very familiar to all the different levels of baseball here, and he's done a great job, just trying to help move on his players to the next level as well. So,
but yeah, even though we're in week 3, we still want to talk about our preseason coaches polls. They're still mattering with pre-conference and whatnot. So, yeah, let's pull up our Southern Piedmont 1A, 2A coaches poll. And Ryan, you want to talk a little bit about what the coaches have been telling you?
I mean, it was a runaway, to be honest. They got every single first place vote. And again, Cherryville, East Gaston coming up second and third. And Highland Tech looking to have a better season. Shelby, Bessemer City, Thomas Jefferson, they typically struggle a little bit. I know Burns got their 2 games with TJ out of the way this past week. And, Marshall McGowan hit 2 home runs in that game. And, that's why they were trying to have such a competitive out-of-conference game, trying to play the 4As, the tougher 3As to get ready for that playoff run that they're most likely going to have. Good talent for Burns. You got Marshall McGowan. He's going to Western Carolina. First saw him when he was a freshman at East Rutherford, ended up transferring to Burns. Big, strong power hitter. And you'll see tonight, Crest is probably going to avoid putting the ball anywhere near the middle of the plate. Colby Putnam, a good pitcher, good middle guy. He's going to Gardner Webb next year. He's a hometown hero here. He's going to go right into his backyard to play college baseball. And then Jackson Toney, another very talented senior. He's going to be heading to Wingate. Wingate, one of the stronger Division IIs that you can find in the Southeast. Haven't checked the SAC standings, but I'm sure they're close to the top. For the younger guys, Coach Leonhardt spent some time telling me about a freshman, younger brother of Jackson Toney, Yates Toney. He's going to be doing the catching most likely. Utility guy when he's not behind the plate. They're very high on their shortstop, Max Davis, 27 grad, also a pitcher. Drew Dixon was another name that came up in the junior class, 26 grad, outfielder. And then he gave me a couple JV names that I'm not sure if they'll be in the game, but he said these are guys that you got to know that can play in the future. They were Gage Camp, Mason Braley, and Andrew Yarborough, all in that sophomore class. So on the other side, Crest, Parker Ramsey and Wyatt. Oh, well, first let's talk about the Big South. Big South, South Point was expected to be the favorite. Stuart Kramer got some first place votes as well. South Point and Stuart Kramer dealt with some early losses in their out-of-conference games. They're both 500, I believe, at the moment, and they're still on our power rankings top 10. Crest had a big W over AC Reynolds after losing to Burns and East Rutherford last week. Big blow to Crest, losing Parker Ramsey for the rest of the spring. He had a torn ACL. Just a great kid. He's heading off to Cleveland Community College next year to play for Coach Grigg. But in the meantime, he's going to have to be the best dang cheerleader he can be. Kings Mountain struggling a little bit. North Gaston, this is what I think is interesting. North Gaston is predicted to be 5th, but I think they're off to a great start. They're 3-1, and they cracked our Foothills 10 this week. Forest View playing better. Ashbrook and Hunter Huss still probably going to struggle towards the bottom. But again, tonight, this is a county rivalry. The 2A versus the 3A. They don't care that they're out of conference. They're going to be going hard to win this game for bragging rights. For Crest, we mentioned Parker. You also have Wyatt McSwain, who's going to be heading to Cleveland next year. Wyatt was our Poppy's Popcorn Player of the Week in week 1 when he hit, I think, 3 home runs in the week while also closing down 2 games and earning some saves. A couple guys to keep an eye on. Still a big fan of Jeremiah Lowe. They call him Jerry. But Jeremiah, I think he's playing shortstop now. When we saw him earlier in the year versus West Henderson, he was playing second. He had a golden glove that day. Jackson Swenson still on the IL. Brock Melton still in the IL, but those are 2 names I want to mention because they're very talented young men. Jackson actually hit 88 on the radar gun in his bullpen the other day. He's just got a broken part of his hand is broken. I don't know if it's the hamate bone, but that's why he's missing time right now. It's on the left hand. Eli Black, he hit a big old opposite field home run against West Henderson. Landry Olmstead, one of the best young catchers, very versatile ball player, one of the best young catchers in the Southeast. Caleb Costner, left-handed bat to keep an eye on, and then J.M. Knapp, another power hitter who will probably be slotting in at first base. So, again, a lot of Cleveland County talent in this ball game. Guess travel sponsors.
I guess, yeah. Let's go ahead and shout out our travel home and away sponsor all today, Red Bridges Barbecue. Big thank you to Red Bridges Barbecue for being our travel sponsor, helping Baseball University with travel expenses being counted throughout the spring, including gas, food, and in some cases lodging. They also are our home team sponsor, sponsoring the time that Baseball University puts towards marketing this game to coaches pregame and editing and posting highlights for the Crest Charger prospects with recruiting and scouting content on social media for the coaches postgame. And our away team sponsor, sponsoring the time that Baseball University puts towards marketing this game to coaches pregame and editing and posting highlights for the Burns Bulldog prospects with recruiting and scouting content on social media for the coaches postgame. So a little bit about Red Bridges. Red Bridges is award-winning North Carolina barbecue for going on 78 years and 4 generations. Red Bridges Barbecue Lodge is one of the only few places left that slow cooks pork over hickory all night long. We feel that this is the only way to get the true old-fashioned flavor. Our hours are Wednesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., located at 2000 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, North Carolina. Big thank you to Red Bridges Barbecue for being our travel home and away team sponsor.
Yeah, they stepped up big for us today, and we're big fans of them.
I mean, they got it in the concession stand tonight, so I'm going to have to give me a sandwich.
For real?
That's what.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I mean, every time we do a prospect filming down at Cleveland Community College, we always try to go over to Red Bridges to feed our coaches. They've just been a really good supporter of us, and if you're craving barbecue, there's nowhere better.
Yeah.
So I know my parents are in town. I think they're coming to the game tonight, so that might be fun to get
My
some.
father's at the game, sitting right beside us.
Yep. So maybe we can have our dads hop on later and talk about how, in a hyperbolic way, how good they thought we were at baseball when we were younger. But I know my dad's a big fan of Billy Graham, and I know that Red Bridges was Billy Graham's favorite barbecue spot when he was still living. Let's go through the lineups here. I got the lineup cards. Marshall McGowan going to be batting off in the first base spot. So, I mean, that's about the best power hitting leadoff hitter you're going to find. Colby Putnam behind him. Again, 2 D1 guys back-to-back. Drew Dixon will be in left field, batting third. Yates Tony, the freshman, will follow up in the cleanup spot. So, interesting to see the freshman cleaning up. He'll be catching. Camden McCall will be in center field. McCall is a senior. So I'm writing these down as we go. Eli Cook, that's a good name. He'll be behind McCall. He'll be playing. Sorry, phone went dead there. Eli Cook will be playing. Actually, he'll be DHing tonight. He's hitting for Jackson DeBesco, who will be playing third base. So write that in. DeBesco wearing number 2, Cook wearing number 14. Hagen Hoyle will be doing the pitching. Hoyle, let's see, he is a senior as well. He'll be wearing number 9. Max Davis will be playing second base, wearing number 16. And in the 9-hole, wearing number 1 will be Nick Williams. He'll be playing right field. All right, and then for your Crest Chargers, batting first, playing shortstop tonight, wearing number 1 is Jeremiah Lowe. Again, big fan of Jeremiah. I've been trying to push him to consider the JUCO route. He's going to be a good ball player. I can tell. He's just very smooth out there. Playing right field's Wyatt McSwain, power hitting, strong hit right-handed hitter, wearing number 11. Landry Olmstead will be doing the catching, batting third. Landry, an extremely high academic athlete. Eli Black in the 4-hole, big power hitter. Enjoyed talking to him this weekend. We were talking kind of the philosophy of power hitting. Approach and all that. Zach Rayfield, the left-handed swinger, left-handed thrower, will be in center field, wearing number 3. Caleb Costner will be at third base, following Rayfield. Batting seventh will be, sorry, I lost my place, will be Hudson Lund, also doing the pitching. I think we saw Hudson throw in that Wes Henderson game. I think he's if I'm thinking about the same kid, who's that true over-the-top kid who's hitting low 80s. J.M. Knapp, batting eighth, will be at first base. And then in the 9-hole, younger brother of Zach Rayfield, Luke Rayfield, who I believe is also a lefty. So some good left-handed DNA in that family. So Lund versus Hoyle, the freshman.
Hoyle.
Yeah, so
That's
Lund.
a family name.
I want to say Lund's a freshman. Yeah, so the freshman versus the senior when it comes to the bump battle tonight. So,
Well, yeah,
all right.
Let's talk about a little bit how their week 2 for Burns. 2 wins over Thomas Jefferson, beating them 26-0, 20-1, and then traveling to TC on Friday night, losing 2-1 on a walk-off. That's a very tough loss. But like Ryan said earlier, they're playing tough competition. A state perennial power here in 2A. They want to go seek out the best 3A and 4A, and going up to TC, going here to Crest, like playing these perennial powers who have success.
Well, that's why in the power rankings they didn't slip. You know what I mean? Yeah. How it was hard. South Caldwell's 5-0 and they're solid, but
how are you going to penalize Burns for going up to a 2-time state champion in TC and multiple state championships beyond the last 2? So, Crest beat East Rutherford early on, lost to East Rutherford early on in the week, 8-2, but bounced back with a 10-1 win over mountain-ranked AC Reynolds. So, battle of the green and yellows. I know you're familiar with those colors over there. Crest. I think they were still being considered, but with their loss to who's the guy who got injured?
Parker Ramsey. I was going to say that someone's going to have to step up and fill not only his innings as their number 1 guy on the bump, but also his spot in the lineup. He's like their number 5 hitter at this time, so he's definitely a power guy. Well, coaches meeting.
Yeah, you want to do keys?
Yeah, we got to talk. So here's the keys of the game, and I thought about these for a while this morning.
Keys of the game: what makes Meineke the smart choice for your fleet? Solutions to meet the needs of any fleet, including fleet leasing, self-managed rental agencies, and more. Meineke is proud to sponsor the Meineke Fleet Keys to the Game.
Yep. So the first one is you got to limit mistakes. Like if you can't play against a team like Burns and make a mistake and expect to get away from it. And on the other side, Burns, the only way that you're going to let a lot of your competition into the game is by creating or by having mistakes and allowing your opponent to take advantage of it. Because, it's going to be a fine thread to put through the eye of the needle when it comes to playing this ball game. And again, Crest is a very good baseball team, but they're going to have to be very, very good and almost flawless tonight. And any mistakes that Burns does make, they're going to have to be ready to capitalize. Second key, know who to pitch to and who to pitch around, because there's going to be situations today, like, for example, McGowan leading off. That's probably Coach Leonhardt's way of saying, like, hey, you're going to have to at least pitch to him once tonight. But there's a time in the evening where there's 1 out, runner on, and Putnam or McGowan or, some of these big hitters are coming through. You can't leave anything over the plate, and it's okay to be careful at certain times. And then that being said, when you get deeper into their lineup towards the second half of it, you got to get the guys out that you're supposed to get out. And then the third, essentially got to have a killer instinct tonight. Like, Crest has got to come out pumped up. They got to come out with a chip on their shoulder here with the Cleveland County battle. And Burns has to not take any opponent lightly, especially coming off a Friday, playing potentially the best team in the entire state in TC Robertson. You can't come into a game like this and think that your opponent is going to be any less. You have to keep that killer mentality. But we're going to go ahead and let the PA announcer tell you the lineups as well.
Marshall McGowan. Batting second, playing shortstop, number 3, Colby Putnam. Batting third, playing left field, number 8, Drew Dixon. Batting fourth and catching, number 17, Yates Tony. Batting fifth, playing center field, number 12, Camden McCall. Batting 6th and DHing tonight, number 14, Eli Cook. Batting 7th and pitching, number 9, Hagan Hull. Batting 8th, playing second base, number 16, Max Davis. Batting 9th, playing right field, number 1, Nick Williams. And playing third base tonight for the Bulldogs, number 2, Jackson DeBesco. And now the starting lineups for your Crest Chargers. Leading off, playing shortstop, number 1, Jeremiah Lowe. Batting second, playing right field, number 11, Wyatt McSwain. Batting third and catching, number 7, Landry Olmstead. Batting fourth, playing left field, number 16, Eli Black. Batting fifth, playing center field, number 3, Zach Rayfield. Batting sixth, playing third base, number 2, Caleb Costner. Batting seventh, pitching tonight, number 15, Hudson Lund. Batting 8, playing first base, number 14, J.M. Knapp. Okay. And batting 9, playing second base, number 18, Luke Rayfield. And the rest of the Chargers. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if you would, please rise, remove your hat, as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Attaboy. Like a good play ball.
Hey, let's have a good game.
I'm going to go grab my dad real quick.
Well, we go into the top of the first here. Let's go ahead and show you our first thing sponsor, Bloom Patch Farms. Big thank you to Bloom Patch Farm, Harrisville, North Carolina. Miss Sumner over there being gracious enough to sponsor our first inning this year. You know, she's got a bunch of dahlia varieties for spring planting. Go over there, give her a phone call. You can see her phone number or email or website, everything on your screen. So big shout out to Miss Sumner over at Bloom Patch Farm being first inning sponsor. Doesn't look like a good growing day today, but that sun's trying to peek through as this front rolls out. So
I feel like every game we've done has been clear blue skies. This is the first one that's got any sort of overcast. Weather still ain't been great, kind of chilly at all these games, but blue skies over the horizon a little bit. Here's Lund on the bump. Again, we liked what we saw from him in that West Henderson game. I think they actually might have hit him a little bit in that game, but you could see the talent. You could see the velo a little bit. I got the radar gun tonight, so we'll walk over there in a little bit and see where he's at. I'm interested to see how they approach a leadoff hitter like Marshall McGowan. Coach Leonhardt might be a lot like I was, truly believing you put your best hitter in the number one.
Yeah, you have to.
You don't have to, and it just, I guess it depends on what you value, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, he may not be a burner, but man, he can hit the ball about 480 feet.
Leading off, top of the first for the Bulldogs.
He's actually a guy that,
Marshall McGowan.
It's not going to be out of high school, but I've written down some notes for potentially some pro stuff. He's just a nice, about the best first pitch of the game you could ask for against a hitter like this. Just hard. It's kind of a true 12-6 right there. I'm not going to go over and get any radar gun. I just want to watch McGowan hit. He's a specimen. Goes back to the curb, throws it about 58 feet. So 1-1. If you're McGowan here, what are you doing? You guessing third curveball like they don't want to pitch to me, or is this your fastball count? Man, great spot, bottom of the zone. Like a fastball, might have been a change. So Crest pretty loaded, with talent all the way up through those underclassmen grad years. No feel there. Left that up. 2-2.
I like these angles we got going.
But, if you go right back to that 12-6er right here, I don't know if I'm McGowan. I'm looking for it, though. What's he trying to throw there? Is that a curveball he's just not getting on top of, or is that a changeup?
I think he's just not finishing. I can't tell.
So, count goes full. Nice pitch. Yep,
that's it.
Might have been the changeup again. He might have went right back to. I got to go back and get some reads.
You can't call both of them.
So good.
One out
pitch
now for number 3.
Lund.
Colby.
Come back on McGowan. Brings up Colby Putnam. He's going to be, is it Bulldogs, right? Gardner-Webb Bulldogs?
Gardner-Webb Bulldogs, Burns Bulldogs.
Yeah, this kid's just born to be a Bulldog.
Bulldogs.
He's just trying to say, look, I'm a dog, right? So maybe he does a couple years at Gardner-Webb, ends up at Hunters, Georgia.
Go Dogs, baby. I love being a Bulldog.
Dogs.
They've all got very similar new age logos. Seeing the Burns logo on your screen there, and then Gardner-Webb made a logo change recently, so...
I like the movement on his pitch. He's coming straight over the top. Looks like he's got some arm side run to it. We'll walk over there in a little bit and get a radar gun read on him. Swing and a pop right side. Looks like it's going to stay in. Knapp. And, who's going to call it? Knapp does, the first baseman. Calls off the young second baseman, Rayfield.
2 out now for number 8. Drew Dixon.
So Rayfield, right-handed. I thought he was a left-handed thrower. I wonder if he swings righty too. So K and a pop out.
Yeah, we apologize tonight for any audible coughs and or sneezes.
Yeah,
we've been battling.
I feel bad.
Whatever today.
Hunter was the clean one last week, healthy, got through the whole week. I was the one that was sneezing, coughing.
Veteran all weekend, but had to get ready to get out here.
Yep. So my family, my kids are hacking. Like, they have got it. My wife has got it. I crushed a Z-Pack, I ain't going to lie. And so whatever it was, I think it was probably more of a bacterial thing, pneumonia or something. But I feel like I'm over it. I still got a little bit of sniffles, but that's Western North Carolina baseball this time of year. You ain't getting many games over 50, 55 degrees. So Lund going back to that curveball, pop up. It's going to be up against the first base side, and Landry Olmstead makes a great read on it for the third out. So fouls out to the catcher. Man, I mean, what a great way to set the tone by the freshman there. K, pop out, foul out. That's probably about the best you can hope to do against a perennial state champion like this.
Exactly. Well, let's thank Bloom Patch Farms again for being our first inning sponsor, located in Hendersonville, North Carolina, offering over 300 dahlia varieties for spring planting and providing floral design services. VIP cutting and floral tours are booking on the weekends now, March through October. Contact us at 828-772-1798 or visit our social media pages on your screen, Facebook at Bloom Patch Farm and Instagram at Bloom Patch. Big thank you to Bloom Patch Farm for being our first inning sponsor for the Western North Carolina Scout and Streaming Series.
So the senior, Hagen Hoyle, that's a good baseball name. Again, I don't think he's one of their primary arms, but again, out of conference game. I'm sure just about everybody in this roster for Burns is competitive. Very interested to get a look at the young freshman, Tony behind the plate. Again, McGowan at first base, athletic first baseman. He's only going to get bigger and stronger in college. Again, Max Davis is at second base, Putnam at short. And third base again is Tedesco, who is being DH'd for. Oh my gosh, my dry erase marker is awful.
Got to get some more.
Then around the outfield, it's Dixon in left, McCall in center, and Williams in right. Shoo. Hopefully I can read my own handwriting.
Different little setup than last week here. We're right behind the backstop. Below this camera angle you've got, we were sitting right below it. So excited to be out in the elements today.
And we didn't do anything wrong. They didn't kick us out
Now,
of the press
bottom
box.
of
They
the
just
first
have
for
the
the Chargers,
local
number
radio
1,
station
Jeremiah
here
Lowe.
today. And it's a seniority thing. They've been doing their thing for years. Baseball University, we're tough, though. We're gritty. We like being down here in the middle of things with the fans, right in the middle of the action.
Just like we were last Friday at Brevard. We were literally right behind the backstop. So
Yep.
It's just fun to be right here on the edge of the brick. Good angle of the strike zone.
So Jeremiah Lowe, senior. He's got a couple options for college. Hoping he makes a decision soon. He's a talented young man. Nice little heat from this senior. Like I said, that looked kind of,
Hey, here we go. Hey.
let's say 82. We'll walk over there in a minute. So Jeremiah Lowe swings and fouls one back into the catcher, Tony. Say Jerry can play second, short, all the outfield positions. He's a very versatile ball player. Stole a bunch of, I think he stole like 3 bases the night we were here versus West Henderson. Swing, there's a ground ball in the hole. That's going to be a tough play for Putnam. A great release and all the way across and gets him by half a step. That's about as fine a play as you're going to see from a shortstop at the high school level. And that's it, kids. You got about 4 seconds in your brain. You got to have an internal clock. When you have someone like Jeremiah Lowe running, it might be
Wyatt McSwain.
Might need to be 3 seconds. But great play by Putnam. This retires Lowe for the first out. Brings week one's Poppy's Popcorn Player of the Week to the plate in Wyatt McSwain. He was 5 for 10 that week at 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, did 7 2/3 on the bump, earned 2 saves.
We got his popcorn right here.
Yep,
Going to give it to him post-game.
And I'm a little jealous. I was kind of wishing he would have gotten it sooner so I didn't have to stare at the whole dang game because it's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Funny little story about this morning. Drove up to get the popcorn from one of the employees of Poppy's, and they had left it on their front porch in a big brown box. And I was hoping that their neighbors wouldn't think I was porch pirating. So I didn't have any blue lights following me or nothing. So
that's good.
Nice pitch. I'm gonna go get a radar gun reading on it.
Ball low.
So my gun said 79. That said 80. That makes sense. I'd say he's probably going to be about 80, 82 for my eyeballs. Senior. I don't know if he wants to play in college, but I like his delivery. Yeah, I mean, he's got a little bit of heaviness to that baseball. I mean, that's a kid who will throw harder if he keeps playing. I'm not sure what his anytime you come across a senior, again, coach didn't necessarily bring his name up to me. It's not an insult to him, but sometimes he knows if his guys aren't trying to play after school, and that's fine if they aren't. There's a lot of talented baseball players out there who decide to go to work, and it's a grind. And man, college is expensive too, and not everybody wants to invest in that. So maybe that's. I feel like there needs to be like more good men's leagues and stuff to just help promote people's love of the game if they decide not to go to college.
Well, yeah, it's always like difficult to find stuff after college, in your late 20s, early 30s.
I mean, Asheville's got a league, right?
I know Coach King used to play in one, and they played some games in North, and then my dad plays in one. But that's worked his way from 50 and up to 55 and up to whatever they're at now. They go down to Florida and play a lot.
Hey, here we go.
Landry said to play. This is one of my favorite young 26s in the Southeast region that we're following. He's very versatile. He can play he might be able to play all 9 for you. He's got pop, did some blast motion stuff with him back in the summer. And, I mean, he has some of the best bat speed readings of the entire group we had out there. There's about 25 kids. Not the tallest kid, not the biggest kid, but, he's quick twitch. Takes ball 4 here, so that'll be our first base runner of the game. So Olmstead heads on down to first. We'll see if he runs for himself.
By Olmstead brings out number 16, Eli Black. Running for the catcher, Olmstead will be number 6, Jackson Queen.
Jackson Queen not pinch runner, courtesy runner for the catcher, but Jackson Queen going to run for Olmstead. 2 outs. Runner on first brings Eli Black up. We'll see if maybe they put the runner in motion, try to do something to get Queen over into scoring position for Black. Black, I mean, he hit a freaking rocket over that right center field fence versus Wes Henderson. It was only in the air for maybe a second and a half before it got out. So a lot of power with this one. This is low here. Nice play by Tony. Quick block recovery. Man, I was up at Haywood County today checking out CamWood Bats' whole operation up there again. I'll tell you what, one thing that I talked to Coach Whitener up there, Mitchell works at CamWood. Man, y'all kids need to get with them and get your school colors done on some trainers and then on some like summer and fall league bats for y'all. They do such a good staining job. I saw some of the other jobs they were doing just for other teams, but like had all our colors, you know what I mean? Crest, you could make your trainer green and yellow, Burns, they had a lot of that like powder blue stains. So that's something that I hope we can try to do with them in the future is maybe try to design like an order sheet with just everybody's team colors. They do a great job up there. So
struggling to find his own here.
Yeah, so after Olmstead draws a walk,
7
Eli
balls
Black
in a row.
Finds himself up 3-0. You think he gets green light here? I mean,
he just threw 7 balls in a row. I would not be. Well, there it is.
Well, man, I mean, hit it hard, but right into the green. And big old bounding bouncer right into the glove of DeBesco. Hopefully I'm saying that right. It's a nice name, DeBesco. So whips it across for third out. The old 5-3. I was a third baseman back in the day, and it's how I remember my wedding day, May 3rd, the old 5-3 ground ball. So, well, let's mention the Patreon spot real quick. We're still trying to build up some membership. Again, just trying to ad-lib in my own words here. The whole idea of Patreon isn't so much, drawing you towards Patreon. It's more just the idea of crowdfunding. Got great feedback from our Western North Carolina fandom, our coaches, our college coaches, our high school coaches. I like the idea of using this to create some sort of like Western North Carolina baseball collective. If you see the first level of membership is $5, that right there just puts you in what we call the Western North Carolina Baseball Collective, trying to have maybe a monthly meeting just to shoot ideas out there and see, like, what can we be doing as a community to make baseball better in Western North Carolina. After that, the different levels are focusing more on, like, shout-outs on the broadcast, recruiting material, etc. But, man, we need y'all. So if we can get a bunch of people in Western North Carolina to join the Patreon, this thing will continue to grow. Social media is going to be important too. Man, I'm a rookie with it. Instagram seems like we're doing a good job. I still don't really understand what stories are. X is my favorite because it makes conversations with the college coaches pretty easy. I think a lot of you prospects have to have an X account. And what's the last one? Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah, that's the village, right? That's the electronic village. Everybody talking about the neighborhood stuff going on. So follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram, and of course YouTube. And that brings us into our second inning sponsor, Hail Tax Solutions. Again, tax season's in full swing. You got to get with Hail Tax Solutions, the official tax preparer of Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. Give them a holler at 828-435-6082 and schedule your return.
Tony.
That might be them on the phone. Telling you how much you got back.
Oh, I already know how much I got back, and it was wonderful. So that's the thing, is they're going to help you figure out. I mean, they're former IRS agents, and that's my thing, is like they know it inside and out. And they're not necessarily fans of the IRS, who is, but they're going to help you figure out. Yeah, they're going to help you figure out how to get every single dollar back that they can. So that's my thing, is I've gone to tax people in the past. It seemed like they didn't really want to have me in the freaking, they're just trying to move you through. And, man, they'll sit you down, talk to you for a while, pour you a cup of coffee. I mean, they're busy this time of year, so I know they're not trying to chat for days, which I made, I can be a talker, but they tolerate it. So Lund back in for a second inning. Been pretty impressed with him. I love the offering, like that true over the top. You can see some good separation in the delivery. Nice, kind of that true 12-6 breaker. So we got Yates Tony. Let's see, McCall wearing which number is he wearing tonight? I did not write that down correctly. I'll strike 3 there, so it's a good way to start the second inning here for Lund.
1 out now for number 12, Camden McCall.
Wearing number 12.
Beautiful sunset on the new Crest scoreboard that they just got installed. Excited to see a lot of these true inning scoreboards like the old-fashioned days, man. Finally coming back around.
Well, I think the other day when we were here for the West Henderson game, somebody put up a 10 spot in the JV game. And I think they found out real quick that the new scoreboard only goes up to 9 per inning. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's like at Western Carolina the other day. The one guy, Pickell or whatever, the senior pitcher, red shirt, came in and he was throwing 100 miles per hour, no doubt, because it was 99, 99, 99. But Western, it was a Hennon Field, I think it's called. The radar gun only goes up to 99.
That's interesting. Wouldn't be 0-0.
Right.
Kind of like this, where it's like an O in the fourth.
I mean, that's possible.
Total.
I mean, he hit 99 like 7 times in a row. So, I mean, I'm sure it could just be consistent, or if 01 or something came up on it, maybe that means 101.
Yeah, they got a new scoreboard, and they also got a new Nike deal. Very nice. This is a great uniform matchup. Pinstripes all around. The home whites versus the away blues with the powder blue vest top. Don't see much of those anymore.
McCall also a senior. A lot of seniors on this squad. I mean, that's got to give you confidence for another state run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 seniors. Oh, boy, Connor. He's going to be right in front of us. Oh, we just talked about this in the Brevard-Pisgah game.
Yep.
Backspin. You know it's coming back to you. You turn around, stay at home plate, and walk it in. We see a lot of young catchers, they'll jet to where they think the spot's going to be, to find themselves backtracking and have a ball fall in front of them like that or behind them.
I've always said, yeah, stay on the edge of that halo and then just walk your way back to the backstop. They ain't got, 20 feet here, so there's not a lot of ground to cover.
Tries to get on top of the breaker, but non-competitive pitch up around the letters. 3-2 count. Says maybe give him your best fastball on a corner somewhere. Ooh, hits him with the pitch. So technically an HBP. They'll send the call down to first base, bring up Eli Cook. Eli, want to guess his grad year?
1 out walk from
Senior.
a call brings up number 14, Eli Cook.
12 seniors kind of reminds me of, what was it, 2021 with North Henderson. I think we had 11 seniors. It's probably a good leadership group, probably a group that's grown up together over the last 10 years playing ball. Probably a very special senior night for them this year. Putnam's got to get back down the zone. Or not Putnam, Lund. Lund's got to get back down the zone here. He's having a little trouble getting on top of the breaker. I think a lot of he's got a lot of moving parts with the delivery. And sometimes it's just timing, trying to move a little faster. 2 HBPs in a row. It's going to send McCall down to second. And we got 2 on here.
Cook
1
hit
out.
by pitch brings up number 9.
This is what we
Hagen
talked about
Hull.
earlier in the keys of the game is you got to limit mistakes. You don't want to put runners on for this team. So it brings the pitcher, Hagen Hoyle, up. Quick mound visit here.
A quick mound visit. Good
Crest.
time to mention our broadcast sponsor.
It's a good time to mention CamWood. Again, we were up there this morning. Good operation up there. They serve Haywood County for sure, but they also serve baseball and softball players everywhere, all across the nation at all different levels. Game bats, trainers, tees, tutorials, and more are available for purchase at CamWoodBats.com as part of our partnership with CamWood. If you use the coupon code BBUWNC, you receive a 10% discount on all your purchases through the website. Man, go customize yourself a trainer with your team colors for high school. You know, if it's good enough for Tony Gwynn, it's good enough for y'all. Yeah, I seen one. It was like a black and orange one they had up there. Kind of looked like the Rosman colors. I seen a powder blue one up there. Kind of looked like the Anka colors, the Burns colors, green and yellow, Reynolds, Crest. Like these were going out to other places in the country, but I mean the color spectrum. I mean they can do just about everything for you with their stains up there. There's that breaker. Ooh.
Interesting.
I mean, we're off a little bit on the first base side behind the backstop, but that looked pretty good.
Great. 2-0, 1-0, 2-0. So that was 1-0.
I thought it was 1-0.
I have 1-0.
That was the first pitch after the visit, I thought. Couple looks at the runner, second swing, ground ball, wide of the third base coach's box. Man, ground ball is what you need here. You do not want to give Burns too many opportunities as you approach turning the lineup over here. Senior heavy lineup, very mature. Here's what I worry about. I feel like he's going to the breaker almost too much here. And his fastball is not, as a freshman, is not quite there to blow it past you yet. So these guys can probably sit curveball and adjust fastball. Ooh, this is what they wanted. There's one. Oh, Costner throws just a bit wide of Rayfield. And McCall is going to read that well and come all the way around on the E5 to score the first run of the game. It's a nice job by McCall to read that play. And once that ball bounced off Rayfield's glove, he didn't hesitate to take the extra base.
Now batting number 16, Max Davis.
So that was the pitch that Lund wanted. And you can see he's kind of kicking dirt, hanging head, and that's the challenge sometimes for high school is just keep battling, even if you made the pitch you wanted. And if you're Costner, if you're Rayfield, you got to go back in that dugout and be like, I got the next one. I got the next one. You know, we need to see more confidence. You know, let the ego play a little bit. Believe in yourself. You know, you're going to make errors in high school, but don't let snowball. So 1 out. Pinch runner there for Hoyle. Did we catch a number on him?
I think it was someone said 6 for 15. Was that it?
Be the runner at first, right?
No, I think he came back out. No, courtesy on second.
Huh. Oh, you're right. Well, is it? Because that's Cook at second.
15 a second? 14
No,
a second?
14 at second, I think. I don't know why they'd run for the DH because then that means they got to take him out of the game. I think they're unless they're putting. We'll figure it out. So now heading is Max Davis. He's playing second base, wearing number 16 this evening. Max is one of the names that Coach Leonhardt and I spoke about before the game as a young underclassman. He wants me to check in on. Left-handed swinger, young guy, sophomore. Good take, up and away. No action yet in the Crest bullpen. Still early. Again, Lund here looking for another double play pitch. He had it last time. Not a bad miss there. Must have been just a bit low. So again, Lund got the ground ball pitch he was looking for with Hoyle. Unfortunately, could not quite turn it. The E5 actually led to the first run of the game for Burns. Here's a good spot, 2-2.
Come on, Blue.
American flag is limp out there in the pole. There's no breeze.
Yeah, the calm after the storm.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a storm. Swing and a miss.
I mean, maybe not that you saw, but there was some red down here along the state line.
That's the thing.
2 out now for number 1.
Mountain weather is it can be in my neighborhood
Nick
about
Williams.
2 minutes away from you and feel like nothing on our part of the mountain. Where we live is right up where the escarpment starts rising on the Continental Divide, and we get some funky weather throughout the year at times. Like our own little temperate rainforest in our valley. So non-hitter up. This is Nick Williams, wearing number 1, senior, versatile ball player. McGowan on deck with 2 outs. This is 100% the batter that Lund wants to retire. Like a fresh slate before he faces the Western Carolina commit again. Made a good 3-2 pitch on him in the first inning there for the K, but that's only going to motivate me to get back in the box against you if I'm McGowan. Again, Lund's got some boring action, on the fastball, kind of drives into the righties. Lanky body. You can see if there's more weight that he'll be able to gain through the additional 3 seasons. Swing into the glove. Strike 2. So one more good pitch here, and Lund with an opportunity to strike out the side. He's collected 3 Ks so far. Unfortunately, the back-to-back hit by pitches followed by the E5 has allowed the first run to come across. So it's going to be 1-0 here heading into the bottom of the second. Well, let's give Hale Tax Solutions their due attention. They're the official tax preparer of Baseball University of the Blue Ridge, have been for about 3 years now, I believe. They've been in business since 1997. How old were you in 97?
-2.
There you go. So they've been doing it for a while. Hale Tax Solutions is headed by former IRS agents. That means they just understand the tax system's complexities a lot better than the average folk, and they can guide you to your maximum returns. They perform all categories of tax returns, including personal, corporate, trust, estates, and nonprofits. They also offer bookkeeping services, consulting, and can be your representation at state or federal audits. With tax season in full swing, give Hale Tax Solutions International a call at 828-435-6082 to schedule your return today, and let them know you heard about us on the broadcast. Well, Landry Olmsted had a walk in the first inning, but for the most part, pretty easy. What was it? 2 groundouts in the K, so pretty easy work for Hoyle in the first. He'll come out for his second inning of work. He's got Rayfield, Costner, and Lund due up. 2 lefties in Rayfield and Costner to start. Well, the power rankings came out this week. We'll pull them up here in a little while. But, man, what a interesting exercise that's been, trying to learn more about the foothills. And I spent some time last night going through the new conferences that are coming up next year. And I think that we're going to probably spread our coverage out just a little bit more. Again, we're paying attention to all the Iredell schools, but we're not necessarily covering South Iredell, Mooresville, Lake Norman. But the way the conferences are next year, where they leave some of those Mecklenburg schools behind, we're going to go ahead and draw them in for our coverage. And then Ashe County is going to join, I think, Wilkes and Allegheny and some of them. So we're going to probably redo all the power rankings and coaches polls and what exactly we're going to cover next year. But for the meantime, here's a slow bounder, I should say, foul on the first base side. But we're pretty much covering 10 conferences pretty intensely, 5 in the mountains, 5 in the foothills. And then we're also including Christ School and ACA into the coverage in the mountainside, and then Lincoln Charter and Gaston Christian into the foothills side. That's strike 3 by Rayfield. Tony throws down the first for out number 1. Bring Costner to the plate. So I'm pretty impressed with this pitcher he's dealing. Again, I'm going to have to call Coach Leonhardt and see if some of these seniors do want to play somewhere. It's late in the game, but it ain't impossible. They just got to be really open-minded. We mentioned on last Friday's broadcast the average age of a college baseball player right now is 21.9, so essentially 22. And I just think back, like, I was graduated before then. You know, I was traditional 4 years, 18, 19, 20, 21. It's just ridiculous to think, like, the situations we're in. Like, we were covering Tuscola South Point a few weeks ago. And I was asking Coach Shepard, like, just about his alumni. And he had mentioned a player that was a redshirt sophomore at NCA&T. I can't remember the name off top hand, but that guy had graduated in 2019. So you graduate in 2019, and in 2025, you're a redshirt sophomore at A&T. Like, what is going on?
I remember him mentioning that.
Now, it's worse in football, right? Aren't there, like, 40-year-olds still playing?
Basically, there's a lot of, like, baseball, basketball, and football, all sports, where it's like you got 8th, 9th years, sometimes even into the 10th year in college on some crazy cases. But
these are the lawsuits that are driving a lot of the rules?
I think a lot of the lawsuits are with the guys who went and played JUCO for 2 years, transferred, and they want their 4 years of eligibility because they got it during COVID and a medical year. There's the K for out number 2. But with a lot of them, most everyone gets a medical year in college. You're going to break something 15, at some point, pull something, like you're not going to play a year. So you get your medical year. And then the COVID classes, especially those spring sports during that COVID, they got 2 years.
Yes.
So you get 2 years plus a medical year. That's already 3 years plus your traditional 4 years. You're into your 7th year. And sometimes you get granted a second medical or a third medical.
And that did affect baseball this year. Everybody that played JUCO got an extra year. Ground ball to Putnam, throws it across. Nice little pick by McGowan. And he is out for the third out. So 2 Ks and a ground out the shortstop for Hoyle. And he's made pretty clean work so far. No hits, 1 walk through 2.
Head to the top of the third.
Actually hoping to walk over there and get a radar gun reading, but it's too fast for me.
Well, top of the third brought to you by American Legion Post 70. Post 70 trials coming up soon. First day is March 23rd at 4 p.m. over at West Henderson High School in the Haywood Road little knoll of no internet. Interested players required to attend at least 1 trial, with more being announced soon. Contact Coach Chris Decker. All the information's on your screen. Excited to see Legion ball back around again. It kind of had a little dip in the late teens, So excited to see that. Excited to see where Coach Decker and Post 70 program. Maybe they'll make a run and get to come down here to Shelby to play in the American Legion World Series.
Best stadium. South Point was beautiful the other day. South Caldwell's press box was so warm on a 38-degree night. But, man, I still think Shelby Stadium is the prettiest stadium out here. It's just got the allure.
Well, there's one time, I think it was either a Legion game or something that we came down here. It had to be a Legion game. There's something during the summer. We came down to Shelby, drove all the way down here, ended up raining, had to turn around and go back. So it's basically, I drove to Shelby to get supper.
Yep.
But it was we sat in the
Red
stadium.
Bridges?
Yeah. How'd you know?
I mean, again, Red Bridges Barbecue is really hooking us up tonight. Travel sponsor, home team, away team sponsor, especially with both these being Cleveland County schools. I will say I'm glad to have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off this week to try to catch up on some of the highlights. I've been essentially logging all the games. I've got my center field camera that's up tonight, and then Hunter did a good job of trying to timestamp some of the broadcast cameras that we're using. So hopefully this week I can finally start scraping through our first 2 weeks of games and posting y'all's highlights. That being said, we're going to put the word out. We want an intern.
Yeah, we need an intern.
We need a production intern, someone that's really into the idea of working on TV shows or in live sports stuff one day, like behind-the-scenes directing. Then we're looking for another intern that's really into video editing, maybe working a camera during a game too, but more for the video production stuff. Preferably college, preferably local. Be a great resume builder for you. It can be, if you want to tie it into some credits for whatever you got going on for college, that's fine. I've had jobs in the past where I've had interns working under me, and if you work hard for us, we're going to try to do you right and be a reference for you. Big swing by McGowan. He felt he should have had more of a barrel on that 2-1 count. This kid can hit a ball, a country mile, a city mile, a mountain mile.
Mountain mile is a far mile.
I mean, that's why he's heading up to Western Carolina next year. He's got true potential to be a big-time bat for Coach Beck. Pretty wild week for Western Carolina this past week. They're doing a lot of was it down in Greenville playing some different teams. They played Michigan State. I think they got the W. What were we reading about them? They came back with 6 runs to win.
6 runs on
no
hits in the top of the 9th. That was crazy to read about that. See that score line.
So McGowan is his second, 3-2 count of the game here. Let's see how it turns out. Swing and a foul ball down the third base foul territory. McGowan hit 2 home runs last week for Burns versus Thomas Jefferson. I think both his home runs were against them. Swing and a foul back behind us.
Keep working hard. Let's go. Finish it.
We were talking earlier. We got here, and I was like, hey, didn't y'all's football coach come from Hendersonville? And we learned that he was only here for, a year or two? And
I think so, yeah.
apparently, if you lose to Shelby, you're not allowed to come back.
That's interesting.
So, good AB by McGowan, draws a leadoff walk. He's going to head on down to first base. How'd their football team do this year?
Burns, let's look.
Walk by McGowan.
No, I was
brings
saying
up number
Crest.
3.
Crest?
Colby.
Because I guess Crest is I guess they recognize themselves as a football school, but Chargers baseball is trying to do their best to have a say in that.
10-3, not bad. 5-2 in the conference. Beat Burns and Shelby this past year. Only lost to South Point. Oh, we got a ball
Called here on lawn. That's going to put McGowan down at second. These are those mistakes we were talking about that you cannot make against a good team. They're going to burn you. Again, in the second inning here, the hit by pitch is the E5.
Go, Huddy. Go get him.
Those little mistakes. Burns is not a team that's going to let you get away with that. So McGowan taking a big lead off second. Hey, man. Doing all right?
Yes, sir.
Got Colby Cloniger hanging out behind us. You already know, right? You're the player of the week?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For the East Lincoln game.
Yeah, so Caleb just walked up. You got buddies on this team, right?
For Crest, yeah.
Love it. Wyatt, you're good friends with Wyatt McSwain, right?
Yeah, that's my buddy.
Yeah, so it's kind of telling, or not telling, but it's rightful that, like, Wyatt gets first week player of the week, and Caleb. We threw the graphic up earlier. I think it's up right now, but 7 innings versus an undefeated East Lincoln team, handed them their first loss. 2 runs, both unearned, 11 Ks, 2 pickoffs, no hitter through 5.
Oh yeah,
Okay. Nail biter.
a little bit. Yeah.
What? Yeah, tell me about that last out.
Yeah. Last out, I think it was runner on third. Little blooper up to our shortstop. Made a good play like on the run. Get the out with 2 outs.
That was a statement win, because did you see the preseason coaches poll?
Yeah, they were.
No, what did they say about you?
Oh,
North Gas? Yeah, you just they think you're going to be 5th. How do you feel about that?
It don't really.
Chip on the shoulder?
No, not really.
You just don't think about it. You're like, I'm just going to go out and pitch.
Yeah, I just try to control what I can control.
He's a good pitcher, folks. Don't let him fool you. He's going to head off to play for Coach Grigg next year at Cleveland. They're like 20-3 right now, and it's hard.
They swept. Did they sweep Guilford Tech?
Yeah, I think their only losses of the year is they lost to.
Lost to Caldwell once.
Yeah, they lost to that Tri-C team once.
Yeah.
They played them like 4 or 5 games. That's a good team from Ohio. Yeah, they're good.
I think I caught one of the games.
Yep, and then Cleveland's a tough spot for a position player to get in and play right away because they're so stacked. But like pitching wise, like you'll have a good shot if you go in there and just keep doing what you're doing. Where's your velo been at?
I actually hit 86 last Friday for the first time. I've been sitting like 82, 83.
Yep. I would say it's a good 82, 83. It's funny because everybody's always like just drooling over Salat, just like, oh man, velo. But I'm like, man, like we went up to the one Western game. They threw a lefty against Maryland. He went like 5-6 innings. He was like 86 the whole game. He's fine. Like velo is important, but y'all have seen these football scores in these college games. It's ridiculous. So, but anyway, I do want to give you something. So, Poppy's Popcorn. That's pretty good mix. They came and gave us a bunch of those the other day, and then we printed you out a certificate here. We'll give Wyatt's to him after the game, and go put somewhere. Put up on the refrigerator, right? But yeah, you got something to eat now, and then some bragging stuff. But Caleb Conager, everybody. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, we thank Poppy's Popcorn. I mean, we're really stoked about the partnership with them. All right, catch me up in the box here. McGowan.
2 outs now for number 17.
McGowan
Yates,
walks.
Tony.
Balks the second. Would Putnam do?
Fly to right.
What's
and
that?
then fly to right, and then another fly to right.
So back-to-back fly out to right,
And he
and
advances.
McGowan advanced.
Advances on the second one.
Okay. That brings the young freshman Yates Tony, younger brother to Jackson Tony. Good arm, who's heading to Wingate next year. Wingate's, man, that's one of the better D2 programs you'll come across in the whole country. So Lund battling here. He's been doing a great job as a freshman against one of the best teams in the state. So it can be nerve-wracking. So Landry Olmstead's go out and talk to him real quick.
Hey, drive him in right here, bud. Let's go.
So after a short visit, Landry Olmsted retreats 2-0. They do have 2 bases open. Yates struck out his first time up. Again, we mentioned his older brother is going to be heading off to Wingate next year to play for Coach Gregory. Very good baseball coach. Good staff, too. David Nash, Justin Guy, both Coach Nash and Guy have helped us with our prospect filmings in the past. Never let Coach Guy throw BP, though. It's all right. He's good at everything else. Big breaker stays up. It's going to be ball 4, and that's okay. You had the base open, but now you got to be careful with your call. You hit him last time, so go right after him this time. Got to check in on Jordan Dixon. I owe him a phone call at Wingate. We were originally supposed to go watch Mars Hill and Wingate play this past weekend as part of the Western North Carolina College Tour Series, but had to bang it as we were just all getting sick and trying to fight this sickness to get healthy for this week. So, but man, Jordan Dixon, he's an East Rutherford grad. He's doing great. I think he's already in the starting lineup, his first collegiate dinger. But again, I owe him a phone call. So if he's listening, I got you, man. I'm just you and me both. Everybody's busy in the spring. Again, Drew Dixon in the lineup for Burns, but I don't think there's any relationship there. Jordan. So McCall, he scored the only run of the game here. He was hit by a pitch, which was followed by another HBP by Cook, and then the E5 off the bat of Hoyle, which allowed the first run to come in. So Lund getting tested here as a freshman for sure. This is probably the most nerve-wracking game he's ever been in, I would think.
Had to have been.
So one good pitch here to keep it 1-0. One good swing here might start us towards a crooked number though. So is baseball, can come down to one pitch.
Let's go, Cam.
Who's Georgia got this week?
Georgia opens conference play. They just swept Columbia in a 4-game series. They're on a 15-game win streak. Only loss on the years to Wilmington. So, however, a lot of people are talking about the Bulldogs being overrated.
Runner goes, no throw.
A lot of people saying the Bulldogs are overrated because they keep coming back after giving up a lot of runs early on. And I just think that starting pitching, trying to work out his kinks, that's always been Georgia's Achilles heel has been starting pitching. It's like we have good pin guys, good closer. Like
that ball is blasted, but it's going to be about 20 feet foul. And I guess it wasn't as blasted as I thought it was. Landed about maybe 10 feet short of the fence too, off the end of the bat. I'm not very good for that. I've done that about 10 times this season. Been like deep fly ball to shallow center field.
And it's called 40 feet in. Do we open conference play? Let's look.
Go, Huddy, work hard.
They do open conference
play. 2-2
play.
count, 2 outs, 2s all around. Swing, ground ball to short. Jeremiah Lowe, backhand. Throws it across for out number 3. Nice play by Jerry Lowe out there. So 6-3 ends the threat. Well, Hunter, guess how many hits have been in this game?
1.
0.
Wow,
Yep.
interesting.
You say a couple walks and hit by pitches, but still no official base hits. Third inning sponsor, again, American Legion Post 70. Big fan of American Legion Post 70. If you're a veteran and you're hearing this and you're in the Asheville area, get with them about membership. They're trying to find some new members. They do a ton of community service in the Asheville area, and man, Asheville needs some community service right now. Still cleaning up from Helene. But on the baseball side of things, tryout dates. First one's been announced, March 23rd. 4 p.m. at West Henderson High School. That's going to be the home field for Post 70. Interested players are required to attend at least one tryout, but there'll be more dates. And, man, we saw some good players this week. Hunter Mason from Brevard. I don't care if you're a freshman. Try out for Legion. All our Henderson, Buncombe County, Transylvania, Haywood County. Come on, guys. We're going to have ourselves a heck of a team at Post 70. Get with Coach Decker if you have questions. Follow them on Facebook. Follow them on Twitter. Again, the head coaches are Chris Decker, son Ryan Decker, who played at NC Central D1, and Coach Raby, who's actually one of the assistant coaches for Drone and played D1 ball at Central with Ryan Decker. So 2 former D1 players. Chris Decker, very decorated coach as well. If you have any questions, though, definitely reach out because we want Post 70 to be the best baseball that you can find.
Lead off bottom of third, number 14,
Western North Carolina.
J.M. Knapp.
J.M. Knapp is going to be 8-9-1 here in the third. J.M., good, strong, young ball player. I had a tough game against West Henderson when we came out. I think he got the golden sombrero strikeout and all his ABs, but there's a good ball player in there. He's been able to barrel a few in the past, and as he gets more reps, he'll end up being a good corner guy here for Coach McFarland, playing first base this evening. Man, I'll tell you what, Starlink and just the overall broadcast has been a lot smoother than our first time at Crest. We were still working out the bugs. That was our second broadcast of the year. I think we were still trying to use the 720 stream at that point, still kicking it around with Starlink. But Hunter Street's done a really good job figuring out a pattern that's brought us a pretty consistent broadcast the last week and a half.
Had one little error early on in the pregame, but very smooth on the internet connection, very smooth on the latency being close to all the cameras and, triangulation, all that hoopla that I don't understand. I'm figuring out.
Interns.
You're a tech guy.
Someone that knows.
Comp sci people. But yeah, we've got – I brought into this half inning with all three camera angles, and they're all pretty close right here behind the backstop along the baseline. So it's good to have all those with no issues connecting to the iPad, connecting to the Starlink, which is probably, 30 feet behind us or so. So interesting there.
Swing and a foul back into the netting. I think all our cameras are good.
Looks like it, yeah.
A little bit of shake on the one, but that's all right.
I like this one. I've been using this one the entire game. I just think it doesn't get the blurriness of the net.
That's strike three. Good spot. So it gets Knapp looking.
You see that one there?
It's napping on the corner. I don't know.
One down.
How do you like the first base side for pickoffs and stuff?
I want to be up a little bit more, but that just need to set that better. Yeah, you got first base with the pitcher and the catcher. That's good for lefties.
Yep.
We'll keep it on camera 3 here for a little bit.
This is Luke Rayfield, younger brother of Zach Rayfield. Both are lefty swingers. Luke at second base, right-handed thrower. Coach McFarland pretty high on Luke. Swing and a drive down the left field line. That's going to hook, foul by about 2 feet. So Coach McFarland's got a good group of young players coming up. Brock Melton, we mentioned him in the pregame. He's still on the IL. The pitcher, we, very impressed with Hudson Lund so far. You got Malachi Gamble, Isaac Ridings. Those are two other JV names that'll be up here soon enough. With one out here and 2 strikes, Luke Rayfield trying to keep it interesting against Hoyle, who I am going to start walking back. That's a hard base hit. That's our first base hit of the evening. Single through the 5-5 hole. Professional hitting by Luke Rayfield. I hand play-by-play over to Hunter for a second while I go check out the radar.
Go, Jerry.
Go, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry, let's go, buddy. Come on. Let's go.
Dang, Velo rising 84 to 86. This kid not want to play in college? He's 84 to 86. Say Colby Putnam's dad's sitting here next to us. He's in disbelief that there's so many seniors on this team with the talent they got. They don't want to play in college, but it's, like I said, it's okay. So good out there.
2 outs now.
Hoyle to retire low.
McSwain.
Flies out to foul out to the catcher. 2 outs now. Yeah, 84, 86. Plastic change up. It's a little up though. 75. Yeah, I wish I could throw 86. So good stuff from Hoyle. And Hoyle is senior. It's like he also does some catching for Burns as well. Temperature dropped a little bit, starting to feel it. Did your dad just bring over a bag of pork rinds?
Yeah.
Shoot, that's a good find right there, yeah? I'm about to hear some crunching up in here. Where'd these come from? They're the Red Bridges. Free advertisement. What you're hearing is the crunch of a delicious Red Bridges pork rind. Made in-house? I'm guessing. They make everything else in-house. Heck yeah. Man. That's the best pork rind I've ever had.
That's really good. From Red Bridges? A lot of family connections down here in Shelby area, Cleveland County.
So here's Wyatt McSwain, buddy of Caleb Cloninger, who stopped by the table earlier to get his bag of Poppy's Popcorn Asheville mix and his certificate for Player of the Week. We still got to catch up with Wyatt after this game to give him his first for the Week 1 Player of the Week award. He's trying to do his best to work on Week 3 Player award right now. Takes strike 1, 3-1 now. Man, they could use a big swing from McSwain now. McSwing it. McSwings it. He's got power to both sides of the field. I think he hit one out the right and left when we were here versus Wes Henderson. Swing, ground ball in the hole. Oh, booted by Putnam. It's going to leave it first and second for the moment with 2 outs. So McSwain reaches on an E6.
Now batting number 7.
That sends Rayfield
Landry
to second.
Olmsted.
Ken Rayfield had the first hit of the game, and it was a really hard shot through that 5-5 hole. The lead belongs to Burns at the moment. Burns still looking for their first hit. They've collected 2 hit-by-pitches, 2 walks. We're able to score a run on the E5 in the second inning.
Well, good time to talk about our home team sponsor.
Oh, delicious.
Red Bridges Barbecue. They're sponsoring our time that we put in to market this game to coaches for the Crest Charger prospects. Award-winning barbecue for 70-something years.
It's been in their family forever, yeah.
I mean, we ate there many times, to and from our travels to Charlotte to see my grandparents. So, know Red Bridges very well. My grandfather loved it. I love it. It's the staple in our house. It's so good. I am honestly getting ready to go to the concession stand and get me a Red Bridges barbecue sandwich. So,
a few things about Red Bridges here. They got an awesome page on their website with just like the history of everything. I want to say 1946, so you can do the math there. Let's see.
80 years almost. 79 years.
All right, hold on. I'm trying to find this fact sheet that I found on here.
I looked it up, and that's where I got our information for our ad read.
Here we go. Fun facts. You ready?
Yeah, hit me with it.
All right. They were voted Southern Living's top 8 barbecue restaurant. They're featured in several blogs. They were the setting of a I guess there's a movie called Buried in Barstow. Let's see. Billy Graham's favorite barbecue restaurant. Hot Fly. It's going to be foul off the right side. Winner of Thrillist Best Barbecue in America. Garden and Guns Barbecue Bucket List. I guess that means you better eat it before you die. Critics all the way up to Chicago have been talking about it. Hunter will like this one. It's the first restaurant to ever serve bottled Sundrop.
Heck yeah. I love coming down here and give me a Sundrop. A lot of people are Cheerwine fans. Personally, I'm a Sundrop guy.
I like Cheerwine. That was when I first moved down. I had Cheerwine. I thought that was like one of the most unique sodas I've come across later in life. I was like, dang, this is good.
Dude, all my friends love it. You come
There's
down here, you get Cheerwine at RS or Crest or Shelby.
You know, I know it's a high school broadcast. I'm not going to dive into it, but you know, there's a Cheerwine ale, like alcoholic beer. Like that's very good.
I think I actually have one in our pile at home.
Yeah, wait till you're 21, kids. All right, so McSwain and Rayfield on it first and second. Landry Olmsted, again, very talented, high academic catcher. Man, this market, him and I have talked about a little bit. Like, he would be golden for those Northeast powerhouse D3 academics like the Hopkins, the Tufts, Amherst, Swarthmore. And that's good baseball. That's D1 caliber baseball. Oh, so on the hands, not necessarily a burner, but, you know, we're going to call it a line out to the pitcher. Nice snag by Hoyle.
Well, head to the top before, talk about our away team sponsor again, Red Bridges Barbecue. Thank you to Red Bridges.
I mean, we owe, man. They're the best. They're the best. Like, they're helping us do what we're doing, and that's something that business owners out there, organizations, like for next year. And actually, we still have broadcast sponsors that we have to fill for the second half of our schedule. But Red Bridges is one of those businesses that believes what we're doing. We appreciate their support. We're fans of theirs. We feel like it's reciprocal. You know, they're helping us, and we're going to continue to eat there.
Yeah, open Wednesday through Saturday, 11 to 7, and Sunday, 11 to 3, located at 2000 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby, North Carolina. You cannot miss it driving through the main strip in Shelby.
Coach, give me another one of them pork rinds.
Okay.
We're doing advertisement here. I'm just gonna crunch on pork rinds for the next 5 minutes. That's gonna be our advertisement.
Well, while you get the crunching in the background, I'm gonna read a little bit about our fourth inning sponsor, Hauling Solutions and Grading. Andrew Casoria over there doing great work. Solutions for hauling and grading. You got to call anything you need from gravel, dirt, rock, topsoil, or more. Deliver to your home, business, or job site. They got all the dump truck sizes. They've got all the dirt, the gravel. They've got everything you need for grading. You know, your driveway, culvert replacement, your bank erosion, just everything. So you've got the information up on your screen. Go visit their Facebook, email, website, and phone number, all right there. We'll talk about them in the middle of the fourth. A big thank you to Andrew.
Yeah, I got to give them a call here soon. It's almost time. I need some gravel. Probably going to need a little bit of topsoil, too. He's on, man. He's quick too. I will say, if you need it quick, he's a guy I've been
Now
able to
batting
call
number
and get him there
14,
within like
Eli
a
Cook.
couple hours. I'm not saying that's going to happen in this market with all the post-Helene work that all our graders and dump trucks are getting, but man, these pork rinds are so good. It's going to ruin the broadcast. They're going to think it's static because they're going to keep hearing the crunching of these pork rinds. Red Bridges. Homemade, 78 years.
Pick cooked barbecue, fresh daily. Oh, let me a good barbecue joint that's fresh daily. We got 0-2 count here. Ball low.
Say in between innings, we'll maybe pull up those power rankings and start showing everybody what we thought this week. Although I will say, I want more feedback from the coaches. I send out the rough draft Sunday, and I tell the coaches I have until lunch on Monday to give me their 2 cents. Coach Leonhardt and I spoke about it for a while on the phone today, and I appreciate his feedback. He said pretty dead on, he thinks, especially early on in the season. He understands that, like we were talking about, like North Lincoln, South Point, some of these teams that are struggling a little bit early, they'll be there. But for what the first 2 weeks is out of conference, he said we're pretty much right there.
I think we're taking into account a lot of the strength of schedule aspects, trying to find an analytical approach to it as I do everything. But it's kind of difficult when all you can really base off of the information you have is historic powerhouses and how many runs you score a game. It's just wins and runs at this rate.
Ooh, big swing by the pitcher Hoyle, trying to help himself out. That ball is, I think he barehanded on one hop. It's going to keep him to a single. It disappeared for a second. But, yeah, kind of short hop him. And I think he barehanded it out there. It's the left fielder, Black.
Single
Eli.
hole brings out number 16, Max Davis.
So now 1 hit apiece for each team. Both have been hit really hard.
There goes the no-hitter.
Yep. So no hitters have been broken up on both sides.
Like a courtesy runner again. Number 10.
Number 10. There we go. We missed him the first time. Let's write his name. Camden Martin. It's our courtesy runner tonight, wearing number 10. See if anything's on, because this is still a close game here in the top of the 4th. I appreciate a close game after the 12-0 stomping that Brevard put on. Actually, our last 2 games kind of got out of hand a little bit. Brevard 12-0 over Pisgah. And we made the comment after the game, like, that's probably, like, to be fair to Pisgah, they looked okay. You can see the talent. You can see the potential, even in it was like the I don't know how to say it. It was like the least awful you could look in a 12-0 game.
Oh, yeah, they didn't look bad at all. I mean, Brevard was just barreling the ball in the holes, trying to, move runners around.
Team baseball, too. That's one thing I got to shout out Brevard if any of their kids are listening. I think they only got 1 game this week, Tuesday, versus Pisgah again. But team baseball, it's just very unselfish. Everybody kind of played their role. It's one thing I've noticed. Hopefully I'm not coming off too harsh here. I think you might see it, too. But, like, more team baseball in the foothills, it seems, like just kind of giving up the individual.
This comment from Coach Lindsay over at Brevard resonated with me, and that was the fact that I went and spoke to him pregame. He's like, we just hit singles, man. We're a single hitting team. But I'm like, well, singles move guys around. If you string 2 or 3 together, singles will score. So
and then singles, you get it on the barrels, a double. And
how many singles in that first inning in that, what was that, 7-run spot, 9-run spot, whatever it was?
They weren't taking walks. They were hitting the ball. And
they were just poking it through the 3, 4, and 5, 6
Some were
holes.
hit hard. Some was like the Thompson kid, Braylon Thompson, the lefty who's just got the 6'5", 60, who was swinging bunts, but that's the thing is athleticism. Play to your strengths, But Brevard's got a chance, man. Again, I hate to say it, but it's like the battle for second place in that conference, And this might be the first time in a couple of years where it's not a Rutherford County team in the top 3, because it's historically been East Rutherford and then RS and Chase battle it out for 2-3. Polk looks a little better this year. We're going to see them versus Brevard later. Max Davis working the AB here, 3-1, excuse me. Again, young left-handed swinging sophomore. Coach Leonhardt is pretty high on him. And you saw the seniors on this roster, so there's talent down there on the JV team as well. Talent that might be up on other teams' varsities, but depth is a good thing. Ball low. It's going to be a ball 4, so that's a K and a walk for Davis today. That sends the pinch runner Martin up to second. So after the Eli Cook strikeout to start the 4th,
now batting number 1,
the last 2 batters
Nick
have reached.
Williams.
And now we got Nick Williams, the 9-hole hitter, now with McGowan on deck. We bunting here?
I would. I try to get the runners over.
Again, McGowan is one of the hardest working hitters, most talented hitters in Western North Carolina. Coach Street says, no, don't bunt. I don't know. Well, here's the deal. You bunt them over. You got first base open, but you also got putting them up. Well, do you still square to bunt, though, and just wait for strike 1? And then maybe change your approach? Looks like we got a technical issue here with the pitch comm. I've seen a lot. Most of the teams have ditched the traditional sign calling for the pitch comm stuff the last couple seasons. I'm a pitching coach by heart, and I think I would be sad sitting in the dugout without my little crazy, goofy signs, you know. But at the same time, it's like what, you know, fastball. Like, what do they do? Is it a buzzer? I don't know. Bunts it back into the home team stands. Oof. We saw that in South Caldwell. 2 bunts.
Yep.
Foul. You know, we got to see more. If Wade King were here, he'd tell you, can't bunt, can't hit. So Knapp up at third, at first. Costner at third, holding back. Bunts it right back. Ooh, they're going to try to make a play at third. Oh, my gosh. Had him. Looked like the throw had a shot getting into the glove. Who's the Eon, the pitcher or the third baseman? I think we're going to have to watch the replay here and determine this. Let's see. Here's the square. At first, I didn't think they were going to have a play, but I think it's E5. That ball did not go sailing. I think it just went
now
off
batting
his glove.
number 24, Marshall McGowan.
So that's unfortunate because 2 runs come in to score. That's Martin, the pinch hitter, and Davis. Williams makes it all the way to second. And what was supposed to be a giveaway out has turned into a 2-run inning now. So those mistakes we talked about earlier in the game. Lund was off the mound quick, spun. It looked like he did have a play. Third baseman catches that. Again, that's Costner over there. Third baseman catches that. I think they get the lead runner out, and it's 2 outs, and it's still a 1-0 game. So that's twice in this game that Lund has made the pitch, but they could not get the defensive result they were hoping for. It was the double play ball in the second inning. It was thrown errant to second base. So 2 E5s have led to a 3-0 lead here for Burns, and now with McGowan up, you do have first base open. However, do you want to pitch to Putnam? So you got to pick your poison here. Spins it, but stays up. Unfortunate, right? I mean, are we right on the E5 call?
I think it's the E5. I mean, that throw is right there. He's got to squeeze that. In that scenario, you got to know it's a force, and you got to attack it like you're a first baseman.
Yeah,
you got to stretch. You got to get it.
Do you feel like he was kind of set up more for like the tag play? It was almost like you're right.
Well, he's just so used to that, and he was just standing like square to him instead of putting his left foot out and stretching to it.
Put the ball your right foot on the front of the bag and stretch like a first baseman. So know your situations. He's kind of slowing up on the spinner there. I hope he's feeling okay, but it's not a bad ball 4 against McGowan. But it doesn't get any easier with Putnam coming up next. That's going to be a coach's visit here and a call to the bullpen. Let me go see if I can hit it.
Well, looks like we're having a pitching change. Let's see. Well, we're in the 4th. Let's talk about our Patreon a little bit. Want to help support Baseball University of the Blue Ridge? Visit our Patreon at www.patreon.com/bbuniversitywNC. The more financial support baseball at the university can earn, the more coverage of Western North Carolina baseball we can bring to you, including the Western North Carolina College Tour Series, the Western North Carolina High School Scout and Streaming Series, Legion coverage, weekly media content, highlight films, etc. Choose which tier is right for you at www.patreon.com/bbuniversitywNC. Let's see who he brings in here. Coach McFarland out. Number 6. Let's see. What's he got? He's got Jackson Queen up, the senior, coming in relief. Don't know much about Jackson personally. We'll see if Ryan does.
Power went back on, right?
Yeah, it looks like it. Talked about our Patreon a little bit. Talked about Jackson Queen coming in relief.
Is that Jackson Queen?
Yes, sir.
Dancing Queen. I like this pitcher. He could have went and done some sidearm slinging somewhere, but I think he's just going to go to school. All right, so what's the final book on our boy Lund? I thought he pitched pretty well. Every single run's unearned, so technically 3 and 1/3. Gives up 1 hit.
Now pitching for the Chargers.
3 runs, 0 earned. Walks.
Now batting
1,
for the Bulldogs,
2, 3,
Colby
4. That was his nemesis. 4 walks and 2 HBPs. Strikes out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 batters. Good potential in the kid. But it's going to be Queen here. It's going to have to try to get Crest out of this jam. They've fallen behind 3-0 on unearned runs. And it ain't getting easier with Putnam in the box. He's heading to Gardner-Webb next year, talented athlete. Both runners taking their lead, and they're taking off on them. They read that very well. They totally stole that on the pitcher. Now, I will say this. If you're a first baseman here and you saw that they were dancing, you got to say step off, step off. You know, you got to try to let you guys know. So it's stolen bases for McGowan and Williams. Both runners belong to Lund. Both would be unearned runs, though. Queen falls behind 2-1. Still a lot of ball game here. Hoyle's dealing, though. I'll tell you what. Pitchers want to keep taking these bats home. The player of the game. Swinging a hard single up the middle. That's going to score 2. Here comes McGowan. So 2-run single for Putnam. That's going to break it open a little bit here. All right, so 4 in on the inning, 5 total.
Now batting, number 8, Drew Dixon.
Well, technically, the Hoyle run might be earned. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. 1 over the air, moved up. You might actually have some earned runs here. I'm going to have to go back and do the math on all that. Swing and a foul back. It's Drew Dixon up. He's 0 for 2. 0 for 2. Fouled out to the catcher, flew out to right field. Oh, that's hard. Right up off the pitcher. That's going to be an out. Hopefully he's okay. All right, so 2 outs. That brings Yates Tony up to the plate. So again, we talked about it in the pregame show, the Meineke Fleet keys to the game. Got to limit your mistakes because a team like Burns is just not going to let you get away with it. I think they've done a good job of like choosing who to pitch to and who not to pitch to. Again, Putnam with the big hit there, but you got to pitch to him at that point. I guess technically they had first base open, so maybe not.
2 outs now for
Maybe
number
they should have backed
17.
up off of that.
Yates, Tony.
But now the third key. This is where Crest has got to dig deep and see if they still got that killer instinct in them to try to come back from 5-0. So Yates, Tony, the freshman. Doesn't really look like a freshman body. Much like Hunter Mason, who we saw from Brevard. That didn't look like a freshman either.
That's not a freshman.
A couple young physical 28s we've seen early on in the first couple weeks of the Scout Streaming Series. Foul back into the chain late. It's a little quiet here in Shelby as Burns goes up 5-0. Say Crest is going to have to try to do something to swing the momentum back in their favor. Strike on the corner. So 1-2 count here. Runner on second. I say try to maybe put the runner in motion. I know you don't ever want to make the last out at third, but third baseman's been struggling a little bit in this game. Maybe a nice pick by Olmstead. Looks Putnam back to second. Jeremiah Lowe's flashing. Yep, and there goes Putnam. He read that very well. He's going to take third base. All right. Maybe I missed it, but he got the second on the ground ball back to the pitcher, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So steals third. There's a bounder. Jeremiah Lowe waits on it, throws hard across. A nice little pick by J.M. Knapp. It'll be a 6-3 ground out the end. Pretty rough fourth inning. So again, 1 hit, 2 hits on the inning, a walk, 2 walks in the inning, an error, 4 runs in. Putnam with the big swing. And as we head into the middle of the fourth, again, let's talk about hauling solutions and grading. Got to give that guy a call, Andrew Casoria. So if you're in that Henderson County, Buncombe County area, you're going to know that he's the guy to call for any kind of gravel, dirt, rock, topsoil. For your home, business, or job site. Hauling Solutions and Grading has dump trucks large and small enough to fit your needs. So get with him today at 828-776-9377 for a quote. Again, that's Hauling Solutions. You can find them on Facebook, and they have a website, hauling-solutions.com. You want to pull up those power rankings?
Yeah, let's do it.
So the week 2 power rankings, you got Colby Cloninger in the background of that flyer too. Not much change up top with TC Robertson and East Rutherford remaining at 1 and 2. North Buncombe climbs a bit. They come up to the 3 spot as they remain one of the only undefeated teams in the mountains. Tuscola did what they had to do after a tough 1 and 2 start. Had a big 10-run rule win against Franklin. Beat Irwin, fellow 3A. Brevard also remains undefeated, moves into the top 5. AC Reynolds hasn't played as many games as the other guys. 2 good wins, but lost against Crest on Friday. They dropped down to 6. McDowell makes their first appearance. 3-1. They had a good win over RS Central. Only lost a 1-run game to Chase. Asheville, again, 2-3. Doesn't look pretty, but they did exactly what they had to do last week, being a talented team, beat North Lincoln, and 10-run ruling West Henderson. Again, how about Smoky Mountain making their first appearance after struggling for years? 5-0 under new coach Wes Clemens. Burns, again, we're not going to penalize them. South Caldwell, number 2. St. Stephen's rises to 3. East Lincoln, we're going to see them Fridays. Again, Caleb Cloninger gave them their first loss. Lincoln Chargers remains undefeated. North Iredell making an appearance with a big win over Alexander Central and 2 versus West Iredell in conference. Again, North Gaston joins us jumping on at number 7, followed by Watauga, South Point, and Stuart Kramer, who are all very talented. Been kind of back and forth in their non-conference games, though, facing some tough talent. So argue, get angry, Should your team be on there? Are things going to change now next week that we're in conference play? But we're hoping this creates a little bit of drama in the 10 conferences that we're covering. Again, 5 in the mountains and 5 in the foothills. Here's Eli Black. So nice job by Eli Black to break through the not hitting
Single
slump,
by
but
Black.
again,
Brings up
both
number
sides
3,
hadn't really been hitting much
Zach
until this past
Rayfield.
inning. So bloop single by Eli Black, and hopefully that starts something here for Crest. It needs to start climbing the ladder a little bit, down 5-0. See, Zach Rayfield struck out his first time up. Again, Hoyle's been dealing. He's been 84 to 86 as the game goes on. Started off about 80-82. So Rayfield flashes bunt. Good job by DeBesco to read on that. He was in pretty quick at third base. Zach, a high academic ball player. I think he's just going to school next year. I believe he's got interest in engineering. So Eli Black, big, strong football type at first, but he does run well. Athletic mover for his size. Rayfield squares and pulls back 1-1. And these Red Bridges pork rinds sitting here in front of me, calling my name. It's a good pork rind. Flashes the bunt again, but just not a very competitive offering at it there. And they're going to call him on strike 2 on the offer. Now with a 1-2 count. Got to battle back. Hoyle delivers. Swing and a pop fly up and over the lights and maybe towards my truck. I never did move my truck. It was the worst parking spot I could have chosen for this game. Probably going to be some broken windshields.
I think it's already cracked.
Yep. It's baseball life, homestead and baseball. It's not about the aesthetics. Just need that truck to get from point A to point B. There's a ground ball down the first base side, just foul. Out of the reach of the dive by McGowan. Stays 1-2. Another lefty, Caleb Costner, on deck. Costner's probably hoping for a big opportunity to get a big swing. I know it's like a lot of young guys. When you make that error in the game, you want to try to get back in there and right the ship and help your team out. Costner's a good athlete, too, good swinger. He's had to move around a little bit here early on with the injuries of Swenson and Melton and Ramsey, trying to fill in some of these infield positions. Talked to Jackson Swenson earlier this week, hit 88, maybe 89 on a bullpen, but still up. That's underneath the 5. It's under the 5 hole, and that's going to allow Eli Black to move down on the pass ball. So good job by Rayfield to stick in there after falling behind on the missed bunt opportunity. So it's 2-2. He's got a runner in scoring position down there, and they can crack the goose egg. That can help shift the momentum for Crest, who is a talented team. Definitely missing one of their senior leaders with Parker Ramsey out with the ACL tear. And we wish him a good recovery, a quick recovery, so he can get back to playing baseball for Coach Grigg at Cleveland next year. So Parker's a very good competitor on the bump last year. He pitched, I think he was the starting pitcher in that Wes Henderson game that they won 10-7. I think they got up, 8-0 at one point. Ball low and in. Good heat from Hoyle. I bet you that I'd be surprised seeing 86, 87 range. Again, not sure what his ambitions are after high school baseball, but the senior Hoyle's got some heat, and he's having a great showing on the bump today. Honestly, if the game were to end right now, he'd probably be our CamWood Bats player of the game. By show of force on the mound, just like, nope, no runs. How many of our CamWood Bats player of the games have been pitchers so far?
I think everyone but 2, maybe.
See, McSwain was one. Was a hitter. Bounder up the middle. Rayfield's going to be able to make it to first base. It's just too fast for that bobble. So it's going to be an E4, but that moves Black over to third base. We got a first and third situation. Week 1. Let's see.
Now batting, number 2,
Moore's the pitcher in that game.
Caleb Costner.
Christ School.
White McSwain.
Oh, that was the other kid for Christ School. It was, for Providence Day.
Providence Day. Yeah, he was the hitter.
Oh, boy. What was that kid's name? Trey something. I got to go back and look. Still getting familiar with some of the Charlotte area kids. Yancey. Trevor Yancey. That's who it was. So Trevor Yancey and Wyatt McSwain are, of all the games we've done so far, which has been 8. This is our 8th game, I believe. 4 the first week, 3 the second week.
Yep.
So far the 7, I should say. Maybe this one will be in the 8th. Only 2 position players are taking the bat home. We're at the go with the CamWood baseball of the game. I don't know.
Can't do glove.
Yeah, right. So Costner here and a chance to redeem himself on some of the E's. Goes back trying to get Eli Black safe back in the third. Nice job by Yates. Tony to jump up, throw right into the letters of Eli Black. There's a bang play at third. Rayfield moves down to second on the stolen base. So now second and third for Costner. And 1 base hit here could make it a 3-run game. I'd love to see the young third baseman come through here. Solid left-handed swing. Hoyle going from the windup. Ooh, pulls back on the bunt. I guess that was a safety squeeze. Good thing it wasn't a regular squeeze. Had trouble. So 2-1 count. Got Lund on deck. Squares the bunt, pulls back, takes a strike. 2-2 count. What's the approach here?
Got to move the runners in
I was
here.
gonna say with the windup, Eli Black can get a decent second there. He's got to be careful with Tony back there. Obviously, he can jump and pick you at any second. Oof. Look close. Probably about 2 inches inside. So 3-2 count. You got first base open. On the windup again. Ooh, yep. Can't take it twice. That's going to be strike 3 looking. Costner having a tough game for Chargers. It's going to bring Lund to the plate, the freshman. Oh, wait. Do we have a pinch hitter?
Now batting, number 6, Jackson Queen.
Okay, that's right. Pitch and change. So Lund out, Queen in. Queen, the current pitcher, side armor. They're going to be asking him to put barrel to the ball, try to break that goose egg for him. Ball up. I'll tell you, with the power rankings we were talking about earlier, it's much tougher to do the foothill ones because they're just deeper right now in talent. So I'd say between their top 6 to 15 teams there, I mean, that could change from week to week. Ground ball to second base, and Queen gets the job done, so I'll get the first run into the game. So RBI ground out for Queen. So good work by Queen to come in a spot he's not normally used to get the run in.
14, J.M. Knapp.
J.M. Knapp going to do his best to try to help turn this lineup over. 2 outs. Got the number 9 hitter, Luke Rayfield, up on deck. Luke had the first hit of this game. Still only 2 hits in this game for Crest. Eli Black, who just scored, had the second hit. Blocks up. So nowhere to go for Rayfield at third. Now is Hoyle still going from the windup? Say Rayfield, I'll tell you what, man, he's got to get a better secondary and just be ready on that dirt ball, because if you can get 2 or 3 extra steps on your secondary from the windup, then might be able to score on some of these block-ups. So the freshman, Tony, calls time, heads out to talk to his senior pitcher. Probably tell him, like, hey, don't be bouncing these. Don't give this kid a shot. Like, this is a number 8 hitter. We struck him out last time. Let's go after him. Okay, you might hear some crunching. That's just more delicious Red Bridges pork rinds. Swing and a foul back. 2-1 count. Yeah, the type of player, though, if you can get that barrel, you can send it to that fence. Good block up. A lot of our catchers nowadays knee down style, but seems still be able to get the block in for the most part. I'd have to ask Coach Leonhardt, but I think the pitcher might be their primary catcher most of the time while Tony takes on more of a utility role. So J.M. Knapp swinging to save his own life there as the ball ran up and in on him. So 3-2 count would have been ball 4.
Protecting himself swing.
Well, if you got good IVB, good horizontal break on your fastball, you can get swings like that. Swing and a bounder up the middle. Oh, tough hop on Putnam. Ball was going up and down on the bounces, and that last bounce just, it's like a magnet, stayed down on the ground. So we're going to have to call it an E6.
Now batting number 18, Luke Rayfield.
With 2 outs, no RBI. But it does get the second run of the game in. So they are going to be able to turn the lineup over here with Rayfield up in the 9 spot. Good pitch there. Excuse me, swing. Got text from a college coach that likes this pitcher here for Burns and saying the same thing we are. He's like, hey, I want him. Why doesn't he want to come play ball?
Yeah.
So, and I guess they have been talking. So I guess it's more of a just trying to talk him into it. He's a good pitcher. I like what I'm seeing. It's funny how many pitchers in the area, or how many players in the area decide just to go to work somewhere, though. But, man, I'm telling you, kids, JUCO ball's hot. It's low risk, high reward. Not paying a lot for school and get a multitude of degrees and certificates. So 5-2 here. Crest trying to keep the threat on. 3-1 count here by Rayfield. Misses down and in. So a little bit of a rally coming up here for Crest Chargers.
Now batting number 1, Jeremiah Lowe.
I think technically these 2 runs are unearned for Hoyle. You had the leadoff single by Black, but then the E4, the K, the ground out, then the E6. Well, mound visit, so a good time to mention the social media. If you're listening to the broadcast right now on YouTube and you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Again, we're going to be trying to do a little bit more on YouTube moving forward with some more content. Definitely like us on Facebook and trying to follow a lot of the neighborhood pages to let certain neighborhoods know when the game's coming to them. So stay in touch with us on Facebook. definitely follow us on X. If you're a young prospect that doesn't have an X account yet, use it wisely, but you need to be on there if you want to try to interact with college coaches correctly. And then Instagram, that's a new one for me. Let me check, because I guess we just started it. We hadn't really been doing anything with it, but we started in the last maybe 3 or 4 weeks trying to hit the Instagram. And how many likes we got here? Let's see. Hold on a second. So we got 461 followers in the last 3 or 4 weeks. So that's pretty cool. I still don't really understand Instagram. I ain't gonna lie, but hey, if the kids like it, cool. And I think that's what I'm gathering is Instagram's for the kids, X is for the college recruiting, Facebook's for the neighborhood, YouTube that's just for the broadcast. So make sure you're following us on all 4. So leadoff hitter here, Jeremiah Lowe up for a 3rd time. Grounded out to short and popped out to the catcher. So 0 for 2. Runners on 1st and 2nd would be a great opportunity for a timely hit for Lowe. Get Crest Chargers back in this game. Secondaries. Oh, bounces one. Nice pick by Tony. It was about a 59-footer there. So 2-1 count. Got some backside hole open as the second baseman holds Knapp at second. Good take by Lowe. Again, for any JUCO coaches out there watching, I'm a big fan of Jeremiah Lowe. Had a great game in that Wes Henderson matchup earlier. Still trying to figure out the whole college side of things, I guess, for recruiting. He's got a couple options, but when in doubt, I'm telling you, go JUCO kids. Unless a 4-year school is dangling so much money in front of you that you can't say no. But if you don't know what you want to do, don't know what you want to study, unsure of the whole baseball side of things for playing time, development, junior college is a great low-risk, high-reward opportunity. And hopefully we see some more JUCOs opening up in the next few years. I know Robeson Community College is starting a program next year. I know New River up in Virginia started as an NCBA club team, but they're pushing hard for Region 10 membership. Out in the mountains, we have 0 JUCOs. Somebody opened one. Blue Ridge Community College is being stubborn. I've approached them 3 times. They said no, they'll never do it. They had it back in, 2012. I'm not sure what happened. There was some sort of sketchiness or something.
Some money issue.
Money laundering, I don't know. AB Tech, especially now that Asheville. Oh, is that strike 3? Or no, bounce out of the glove, new light. But AB Tech, if you're at AB Tech and you look down at Asheville High School's field, it looks like it would be their field. And I think they're getting lights, so maybe there's a way to work that out. Southwestern, right? Southwestern up near Smoky Mountain. They got Smoky's high school field. They got the field down the road. I mean, maybe they could put some money into one or the other. Hard line drive foul. So good AB by Lowe here. And then the other one up there is Haywood Community College. I could see that county getting behind the JUCO. They'd have to probably build them a field. Isothermal down in Rutherford. McDowell Tech. Missing any?
Is that all of them?
Ball 4. Good take by Lowe. So runners were in motion on the play. Sends Knapp to third, the younger Rayfield to second. It's going to bring Wyatt McSwain to the plate. This is definitely the guy you want hitting in a situation like this. Wyatt's been hitting the ball well to start the 2025 spring, and he'll be heading to Cleveland next year to join Coach Grigg and his staff. Wyatt's very familiar with these players, too. This whole Gaston, Cleveland, Rutherford, Lincoln area, a lot of these kids know each other. See each other in Legion baseball. Oh, we're making a pitching change. Okay, so it's going to be the line on, was it Hoyle? So technically, so he's responsible for all the runners, but I want to say circumstances up to this point, those 2 runs are unearned. But again, the ones that are on base afterwards, let's see, 1, 2. Actually, I think technically all these runs moving forward could be unearned because with the 2 errors, they could look as they've been out of the inning. So anything that rolls past this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ks on the evening. 2, 3 walks. Only gives up the 2 hits, I believe. Yep, only 2 hits given up. And it's 3 2/3 innings pitched. So probably not going to be the CamWood Bats player of the game. It might be open still. Being up 5-2, it puts more emphasis on the Putnam single. Yep.
Maybe.
It's not the difference maker, but the Putnam single is a big hit for them right now. We'll see. We'll see. Still wide open here.
Keep it plugged into that one. Keep it plugged into that one.
Now batting for the Chargers, number 11, Wyatt McSwain.
So McSwain in a big position here. What number did they put in there? Is that 12? Let's see the number on the pitcher. I don't think they announced the name yet, right? So bases loaded here for McSwain. Swain 0 for 2. Struck out and reached on an error. Definitely a hard thrower. Show me a number. You don't want to turn around, do you? Can't tell if it's 18. I think it might be Max Davis. I don't know. Where's that? There's a bounder up the middle. Picked up by Putnam. Tossed to the second baseman for out number 3. So fielder's choice, 6-4. Heading out. All right. Say my dad. Oh yeah. So my dad attended the game. My mom attended the game. Bringing back any memories from baseball? These kids probably a little better than we were though. I got to figure out the pitcher. Thanks for coming.
Well, 5th inning,
Good job.
sponsored by Nova Pitching Performance. Coach Anthony Payne over there, working with several Western North Carolina pitchers over the last few years, helped them make major jumps in their physicality, velocity, and overall athletic performance.
Okay. So that was Jackson Tony that
Sponsored.
they brought in to pitch.
Okay.
She's the Wingate commit, pitching to younger brother Yates Tony there. So I got that figured out. Go ahead, Hunter. You can take it from
5th
here.
inning, yep, we talked about it. Nova Pitching Performance, directed by Anthony Payne. Doing a lot of jumps over there for West North Carolina pitchers, infusing data, analytics, and biomechanics. Coach Payne is trying to help pitchers get the most out of their potential. Excited to have them as our 5th inning sponsor, and we'll read more into that in the middle of the 5th, where we talk about our pretty pitch of the game here in the next half inning.
So, yep, that was Jackson Tony that came in. He's heading off the Wingate. Let me go ahead and text their coach and let him know he's in. So Tony comes in and shuts down. Bases loaded, right?
Yeah.
Lead off.
So if Jackson comes back out, we'll go
Top
get
of the
some
fifth
radar
for the
gun
Bulldogs,
readings
number
on
21.
him.
Camden McCall.
Yeah, and getting some good feedback today on the stream. I think our starting pitcher, Hoyle's got some fans out there. He needs to consider playing college baseball. This particular coach I'm talking to thinks he can be 88, 92 in the future. Man, I'll tell you, just junior college baseball, we've been talking about it. It's so hot right now. You heard Caleb Cloninger and I talking about earlier. The Yetis, Cleveland, have been killing it. Cleveland County's got beautiful facilities down there. I think they just came in at number 23 in the nation today. Now, again, that's D2 JUCO. A lot of you kids don't realize there's a D3, a D2, and a D1 JUCO. Region 10 has a little bit of everything. Gaston, D1, Cleveland, D2, Caldwell, D3, all here in the same neighborhood with good talent all the way up and down. But Cleveland's been doing a great job with their recruiting, and it's easy for them to recruit when you have facilities like that. Good coaching. They've been sending their players off to a lot of solid schools. But, yeah, number 23 in the nation, when you consider all the JUCO ball that's out there, that's pretty dang solid, Yetis. Here's a bunt, a real good one, and they ain't got a shot at him. It's going to be a leadoff base hit by McCall. Camden McCall, so that's a single. It's good to see the parents are in town from Wisconsin. Maybe we got to start a baseball university at the Dells or something up there one day. It's good baseball.
Now batting
it's actually
number 14.
Ohio,
Eli
Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois. You'd be surprised. There's really good high school baseball participation up there, and it's good talent. It may not be as deep as the Southeast because we're warm weather, but it's like their best are just as good as our best. I think the problem that a lot of our schools up there run to, the colleges up there, is that there's more colleges in the Northeast and the Midwest than there is in the Southeast. So a lot of our Southern boys would be wise to look up that way for playing time opportunities. The call's off. Here's the throw down by Olmstead. Decent throw, bounces it, but it was a good break by McCall. He's going to steal second base. So good game by McCall so far. He's 1 for 2. Run scored, hit by pitch. So Queen back in for another inning. Nobody out. Popped up. And again, was that a pinch hitter right there? I think it might have been a pinch hitter. Let's see where we're at in the lineup here. So 1 out. Brings number 9 to the plate, Hoyle. So he's still in the game. But, yes, I want to say that was Mason Humphreys who was swinging there from the
Now batting for the Bulldogs,
Cook.
number 9, Hagan Hull.
Couldn't tell for a second there. So number 9, Hagan Hoyle. He's going to ground one short here. Oh! Jeremiah Lowe's going to throw it high and pass the first baseman Knapp, and that's going to allow McCall to score. So it's unfortunate. Again, we talked about can't make mistakes against a team like Burns, especially when you're starting to come back a little bit. So it's going to make it 6-2. Hoyle's going to go to second.
Now batting number 16, Max Davis.
That brings the sophomore Max Davis to the plate.
Hey, right here, Max, let's go.
Well, I mean, it's still a ball game, but Crest has got to gain some momentum and try to limit these mistakes. Any standouts for you so far in this game? I mean, I was impressed with their starting pitcher.
Yeah,
obviously, they got a
he was
limit
shoving
on
it, and then they got away from him in the top of the 4th right there.
Yeah. I mean, I still think as it stands right now, he's probably our player of the game. We'll see. There's still some time. See if some of these guys can add on to their offensive line. It's not an individual game, though. You know what I mean? It'd be kind of cool if, it's just like a team win. Just give the bat to the whole team, have them take a picture with. So they've been getting good jumps off of Queen. I think
That's what I've been impressed by is their secondaries and they're taking extra bases. Like they are aggressive on the base pass.
They got 3 stolen bases on Queen already. Ooh, pokes it out in the left center field, and that's going to land for a single. So didn't try to do too much with it. Got out on his front foot, kept his hands back just long enough to flick it out in the left center field. So nice piece of hitting by the sophomore. So Hoyle's up at third now. 1 in already. 1 out.
Now batting number 1, Nick Williams.
Nick's 0 for 2. Reached on an E5. I think that was when he squared the bunt in the fourth. So we'll actually call that a sack for him. So 0 for 1. Does have a run scored. So in the 9 hole here, the chance to do some damage and put him up 5. Runner goes. He's going to throw through. Quick snap tag hits the runner. That's going to bounce away from Rayfield and low and allow the run to come in from third. I guess we got to call that an E2 on the throw.
Yep.
And this is what Crest is going to have to go back to practice this week and discuss is little things. In the meantime, these pork rinds are delicious.
Red Bridges Barbecue Pork Rinds. Our travel home and away sponsors. Ooh, squaring around.
Well, here's the thing. Third baseman's made 2 errors today. Infield zone. 5 runs. Still close enough to square. And you said it, like they're taking extra bases. That means like they're paying attention. So they know who's struggling out there. They know who to test right now. Crest has got to find that dog in them. It's not impossible. They still got 3 full at bats left. Misses just outside. So 2-2. A non-conference game. It does come into play. I know Crest has, I think, 2 against Hunter Huss this week. Hunter Huss is typically, bottom of the standings, but you don't want to take your opponent lightly, especially in conference.
Yeah, and Burns opens their conference play against Highland Tech.
They opened up
2 outs
against
now for
Thomas
44.
Jefferson last week.
Well, they continue conference against Highland Tech then.
Highland Tech's good team. They're better.
There's a Highland Tech player over there. So.
I want to say they were 4th in the preseason rankings for the Southern Piedmont behind Burns, Cherryville, and East Gaston. They try hard over at Highland Tech. It's a depth thing. And that's kind of where the separator is after Highland Tech kind of drops down a little bit, with Shelby and, was it Bessemer and Lincolnton?
Shelby, Bessemer City, and Thomas Jefferson.
Tommy, that's right. So another pitch and change here, number 14. It'll be, is that J? No, it's Parker Ledbetter coming in. Pitch? Nope. Who's taking the ball? Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Ledbetter. So Queen goes 2. Goes an inning and a third. We got 2 outs. So inning and a third. Actually, I think it's, it makes sense. Yeah, 1 gives up 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. We got an E. Yep, so Jeremiah Lowe throws that one wide, so that's 1. So 1 earned run. I think 2 runs overall. He's responsible for the runner out there as McGowan comes up. So that's probably why they're making the change here. Is might as well throw a new arm against one of the better hitters in Western North Carolina. With 2 outs, I mean, 1 runner on.
Well, like we were
we'll
saying
see
earlier,
who they choose to pitch to here.
Non-conference matchups, you don't want to waste your arms, waste your pitching early on in the season. Use them for this week where it matters.
Looking at the lines today, McGowan's 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a run scored, stole base. Putnam is 1 for 3 with 2 RBI, a single, and a stolen base. Drew Dixon 0 for 3. Yates Tony 0 for 2 with a walk and a stolen base. McCall 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored, a hit by a pitch, and a stolen base. Eli Cook was 0 for 1. They moved him for Humphreys, the pinch hitter, 0 for 1. Hoyle having a good game on the mound, and was having a good game on the mound. And at the plate, he's 1 for 3, but reached on an error twice. You would think that counts as OBP. I don't. 2 runs. Max Davis, the sophomore left-handed swinger at second, he's 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. And then Williams, the 9-hitter, 0 for 2, reached on that sac bunt. That was an error on the throw to third, which was dropped. So nobody really lighting it up yet. I'd say Putnam, that's probably the biggest hit for them so far. But with Marshall McGowan up, he can send a ball pretty dang far if you let him get around on one. So right now they're not really trying to give him much. 2-0 count. With first base open, we'll see what they choose to do. Would they rather pitch to McGowan or Putnam? Ledbetter delivers. Ooh, up in the zone. It's one of those pitches definitely above the zone, but if you timed it, might be worth a big old hack. So 3-0. Green light.
No way.
All right, 1 pitch, 1 spot. Yep. Ball 4, so 4-pitch walk. They don't even want anything to do with McGowan. That's his 3rd walk of the day. So, I mean, they took that advice from the Meineke Fleet Keys of the game, like who to pitch to, who to not pitch to.
Now batting number 3,
the biggest
Colby
thing that
Putnam.
they failed on today was minimizing mistakes. You know, there's probably, 1, 2, 3. My count says 4 errors. They don't have an error spot up on the scoreboard, but I've counted 4 Charger errors today. See if McGowan stays put. Nope, he's going to take off. Ooh. It's kind of a delayed steal, trying to start something there, but they're going to let him take it. So 2nd stolen base of the night for McGowan. Again, Putnam had the big hit in the 4th, 2 RBI single. I think at the time that put him up 5-0. In the bottom of the 4th, Crest came back for 2 to make it 5-2. So when it was 3-0, Putnam added on the 2. And again, we got to check in on those NCHSAA credentials here to see what that means for playoff baseball. That's kind of the wild card right now. We're trying to figure out is can we continue this broadcast into the playoff season. Had to do a lot of research on what exactly is this whole broadcast and the spectrum of high school baseball. And these broadcasts in the regular season are approved by the ADs and the schools themselves. But when it comes to playoffs, a lot of those rights go to the NCHSAA as a whole. So we're trying to make sure we got our T's dotted and our I's crossed. But bounces one here. It's coming back to us. And that's going to be the 8th run of the ball game. So that scores. Who did that bring in? That brings in Davis from 3rd base on the wild pitch. So McGowan has the 3rd.
Drew Dixon.
Putnam goes down to 1st with a walk. Brings Drew Dixon to plays 0 for 3. Ground out the pitcher his last time up. It was hard hit. It was knocked the pitcher off the mound, but it was an out nonetheless. Dixon, a junior. He was one of the names that Coach Leonhardt told us to keep an eye on. So Ledbetter doing his best here to try to keep Crest Chargers in this ball game and get one more out. Again, we'd mentioned Cleveland earlier. Coach Grigg actually played for Coach Leonhardt in high school. Swing, and there's a backside ground ball picked up by Rayfield, and that'll be the third out of the inning. So damage been done, 8-2. Say Coach Leonhardt's coached some good ball players. I know he's got Christopher Proctor at Duke, who went to play for the Tigers, but now is in their minors, but is in Australia playing now. Coach Avery Bridges, who's an assistant over at GW, and then Coach Joseph Webb, who's at Liberty. Fifth inning sponsor, Gritty Pitch. Well, old new school data and old school grit is what Nova Baseball is all about. We got to pick their gritty pitch of the game. Youth, high school, and college pitchers, you got to get with Coach Anthony Payne at Nova Pitching Performance. He's worked with several Western North Carolina pitchers in the last few seasons and helped them make major jumps in their physicality, velo, and overall athletic performance by infusing data, analytics, and biomechanics. Coach Payne is trying to help pitchers get the most out of their potential. If you're looking to make strides in your pitching performance, get with Coach Payne at Nova Pitching Performance ASAP. He offers in-house but also remote training for those outside of the area. Is willing to work with any high school and college level pitchers that feel they need the help. Again, Nova Baseball, new school data, old school grit. Well, gritty pitch of the game. Oh, man, let's see. I'll tell you who I think did it was the older Jackson Tony, who came in and just shut down that little rally with a strikeout of, I think it was Costner.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, so who's up here to start the inning? Well, no, it wasn't a strikeout. It was a fielder's choice, right?
Now batting for the
That's
Chargers,
right.
Yeah,
number
yeah.
7.
But still, that was probably our gritty pitch of the
Homestead.
game. Jackson Tony. I think Jackson Tony's out for a second inning here. We'll walk over and check out the radar gun in just a minute. Leadoff hitter's going to be Landry Olmstead here in the bottom of the fifth. Landry is 0 for 1, lined out to the pitcher, and had a walk in the first. Ooh, there's some good depth on that curveball. I'll be back. I want to go see these numbers.
He wants to go see these numbers. I guess I'll just talk along the way. Saw Olmstead last week ago when he came down here. Had a very good night against the Falcons of West Henderson Mountain Team. 1-0 count. Ooh, chin music. Was that 2-0? See if they can muster a little comeback here in the bottom of the fifth. Got about 3 more chances to bat. About tip. Ooh, off the catcher's hand, I think. He is grimacing there. Tough. Oh, it's going to give him some time.
So his
Olmstead checks on him.
last 2 fastballs were 82-84.
Okay. 82-84 from the pitcher here. Checks the call on the pitch sheet. Ready to throw. Ball driven deep left field. Left fielder going back. Is it? Off the wall. Olmstead cruises in, slides into second. Clean double off the wall to start the bottom of the fifth. That ball was driven. What do you think about that,
Double
Ryan?
by Olmstead brings up number 16, Eli Black.
Yeah, Landry.
I mean, that's just a quick snippet of what Landry Olmstead can do for you. I mean, that's a good pitcher. He's sitting about 82-84. I know he can throw harder. going to walk back over and get some more radar here in a minute. I like the depth on the curveball, but good swing by Olmsted. It was off the fence in the air, right? I think it was up there. Just barely missed a home run. They need something, though. Down 6 here in the 5th. Good take. I'll be right back.
Go, Jack. Find it.
The ball, shortstop, fields, guns, throws, and retires him. Runner advances to third, 1 out here in the bottom 5th.
.83 on the gun. She's about 82 to 84 right now on a cold night.
1 out now for number 3, Zach Rayfield.
Which that tells you, I mean, this is a good ball player right here, Tony. And I don't know what his max velos are, but also hats off to Hoyle. He's trying to get his velo up there in 86, maybe 87 range tonight. So 2 solid pitchers for Burns this evening. Chilly. Definitely got colder over the last half an hour here.
Ball 3 inside.
All right. Well, 3-0 count. Big spot here for Rayfield, trying to get that run in, try to keep Crest close. He's going to take ball 4, head on down to first base for first and third situation. And I mean, what do you do to try to get the gears rolling here?
Number 2, Caleb.
Got to string together a few hits.
Again, Costner in a big spot again. I know he's had a bit of a rough game with the 2 errors. And let's see, he struck out his first 2 ABs. So this is a good chance for him to try to kind of get the albatross off the shoulders a bit. I like his left-hand swing. I first saw him 2 years ago. I mean, there's definitely a ball player there. But he's going to have to dig deep right here to find that inner killer we talked about and the keys to the game. Good take, but close, right? I mean, that was the pitch that got him last time.
Yeah.
It can tell you they're going right back to the spot. So, again, Jackson Toney, good ball player, heading to wing it next year. You can see it in the legs. Good strength. Moves pretty well. It's been 82 to 84 on the gun. There's more in there. It's just a dang chilly evening. Runner goes. No throw. So that's a tough pitch. Try to make a throw on there, but I think he probably had the green light to throw through in this game.
Yeah.
If the pitch is there. So stolen base by Rayfield. So a leadoff double by Olmsted. Again, the high academic catcher, utility, junior. I've talked to Olmsted. He's interested in going to school just about anywhere if it's the right fit. So unlike a lot of our boys that want to stay like 2 hours from home, if they've got any coaches listening up in the Northeast, those high academic schools. Good take. They're trying to go back to that one spot where they got him in the, I think it was in the 4th. Banging him inside so he can get his hands in. So good job by Tony hitting this, or trying to get the spot, but he's got to find the spot here. Man, he's got to get that bat off the shoulder. So full count here. And again, we had that pitcher spot in the next there's ball 4. So again, Tony with back-to-back walks allows Crest to potentially creep their way back into this ball game. So bases loaded, ducks on the pond.
Brings up number 6, Jackson Queen.
So here's Queen, came in for Lund, the starting pitcher. Queen, not normally known for his hitting, muscled a ground ball RBI his last time up when he was asked to hit in an unfamiliar spot. And see if Queen can find that magic again. Fouls one back in the net just above us. So what do you think about your first look at Burns this evening?
They old school baseball. They put a bunt down, get the runner over, and drive them in.
It makes that 2-1 score versus TC Robertson make a lot more sense.
This makes a lot of sense.
I mean, think about it. TC Robertson and Burns baseball are probably the least mistake-prone teams out here in the mountains, in the foothill area. And 2-1 to be a walk-off, everything was true in that game. But it's a testament to old school baseball, defense, pitching, hitting your spots. We need to see more of that in the mountains to catch up a little bit to these foothill teams. Swing and a miss. That was just a tough AB. That's tough to ask Queen to perform in that situation against a high-level D2 recruit,
Two out
Jackson
now for number
Tony.
14, JM Knapp.
Now running for the catcher on third.
Catch a number on him.
4, 5, what up?
Might be Jackson Willis. Or is it? No, number 9. That's Lyric Pettis, the courtesy runner for Olmsted over at third. Again, Olmsted, a good athlete, runs a sub-7. But when he's on third base with bases loaded, might as well get him ready for the next inning. Tough. So Knapp reached on the error by the shortstop Putnam back in the 4th. I think it was that big bounding ball that was hop, 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 and then kissed the dirt and stayed under the glove. So Knapp falls behind quickly 0-2, and man, Tony put himself in a situation just to work himself out of it potentially. Good pitch, but spins it just a bit outside. I don't think he had the best feel on that one. His other curveballs had better depth. I say throw it again. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Yep, threw it again. That's on him. He said he's seen it after he threw the pitch. He kind of gave his catcher the whole as mine. So I say go ahead and just give him your best fastball now. You've already put yourself in this situation. So sped up the bat a little bit after the 2 curveballs, takes that inside fastball and rips it into the chain link down the third base line. Some good agility there from Coach McFarland coming out third base box.
I was about to say he's on his horse to go get that one.
I would have taken me about twice as long to hobble down there and get that ball. When I first started coaching, I felt like I had some jump in my step. I would be the third base coach, so I'm going to field that ball. But towards the end, I just let that thing roll. I don't care. I don't care if it's 3 inches from me. Y'all can go get it. Strike 3, big K by Tony. Stares into the dugout a little bit after that K2. Just kind of let him know, like, hey, I own you.
Well, we want to thank our broadcast sponsor, CamWood Bats, located in Haywood County, serving baseball and softball players across the nation. Game bats, trainers, tees, tutorials, and more available for purchase at www.camwoodbats.com. As part of our partnership with CamWood, make sure to use the coupon code BBUWNC for a 10% discount on all purchases through their website. Thank you to CamWood for sponsoring the West North Carolina High School Scout Streaming Series. We head to the 6th inning, brought to you by House of Power. Sheldon Reed over there in Mills River doing good work in the West North Carolina region, helping baseball and softball players improve their game, offering one-on-one lessons, strength and conditioning, just to name a few. Detail them in full in the middle of the 6th when we'll announce our House of Power Big Swing of the game. But yeah, you know Sheldon.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. I'm crunching on these delicious Red Bridges barbecue pork rinds. Sorry, I really couldn't hear you. What was that?
You know Sheldon over at House of Power.
Sheldon's got some sort of baseball camp thing going on this week, too. Let me see if I can find that on the old Facebook. But Sheldon, ex-pro player, and fresh off it. He was playing pro ball last year, and now this is his life. This is his dream. try to bring player development to the youth of Henderson County. We need something like this. He's very open-minded and been asked some great questions about how does Little League work, how does Babe Ruth work, how does the travel stuff work, and there's some very good innovative minds here in Western North Carolina. I think are going to reshape how baseball and player development goes, and hopefully going to be pretty cost affordable too. I mean, everything's an investment, but I'm going to tell you, families, I'd rather see you. If you have $1,000 to spend, I'd rather see you put it into player development than any dang travel team in this market. You got to get better. Simply put, college coaches want physical baseball players. Average age of a college baseball player right now is 22. So get with Coach Sheldon Reed, get into the speed and strength programs, because if that's like what we're looking at is like with all the transfer portal and recruiting rule changes where it's all these older players, well, you need to be just as physical as a 22-year-old coming out of high school if you're going to want to compete for that job. All right, I'm trying to – oh, dang. It's good? Yeah. All right, I'm trying to see – sorry, guys. I'm looking up the whole House of Power thing because I want to make sure I got these right. So, swing and a foul back. Yeah, Spring Break Baseball Clinic. All right, so Sheldon is hosting a Spring Break Baseball Clinic for 8 to 12-year-olds. It's going to be at the House of Power, his facility down there off Haywood Road, from 9:30 to 12 o'clock. It's going to be Monday, March 17th to Wednesday, March 19th. So he's probably looked into the Henderson County spring break dates. But, man, I mean, there's a laundry list of stuff they're working on that day. So if you're a youth baseball player, please hop on. I'm on the Facebook page for House of Power to check out this registration form. But for 3 days, I think he's only asking $125 for registration for 3 days of player development. Dang.
It's a good deal.
That is a good deal. I'm looking at the hours here. It's 2-6.
Especially from a former pro.
It's 9 hours.
And Division I player.
Yeah, 9 hours of training.
Yeah.
For that price is pretty dang good. And I'd rather y'all do that and get better and learn how to enjoy the game than spend it on some new Evo Shield thing. Nice little pickup by Lowe, but his throw goes wide. Again, Lowe playing shortstop with Swenson out right now. Good athlete, looked really good at second base in that West Henderson game, but
now
2 errors 12, in this
game.
I think that's 5 in the game for Crest. So, again, not the cleanest game for the Chargers tonight. That brings McCall to the plate. McCall has answered the call this evening. It's been gritty. Hit by pitch in the second, came around to score the first run of the game. Ground out in the third, then singled to start the fifth on that bunt single. Was that him that laid down that bunt single? I think it was. We'll say McCall laid down a beautiful bunt single to start the fifth inning rally, stole a base, but they came around to score 3 runs in that fifth to build on the score. It was 5-2 at the time, so Ledbetter back out for another inning. Again, Ledbetter being asked to fill innings this evening. Not necessarily one of their main arms, but they're going to have to find a way to fill innings after losing Parker Ramsey to the torn ACL. Oh, that's going to bounce here back into the netting and allow Tony to head down to second base. Is that Yates Tony running for himself, or did they put a runner in for the catcher?
I think they put a runner in.
Okay. Let me know if we catch a number on him, then I'll write that into the box. So McCall, again, 1 for 2 on the day with a hit by pitch as well. 2 runs scored, has a stolen base. Yates moves up on the wild pitch there. Ooh. Fighting the weather, fighting the cold, fighting the runny noses.
Yep.
Still waiting for spring here in Western North Carolina. Another pass ball. It's going to allow whoever's running down there to get the third. Actually, we're going to call it a wild pitch. Bounced it. So McCall here with a chance to do some more damage. I have trouble seeing these numbers on these powder blue jerseys with silver numbers. Come on, Coach Leonhardt. It's the third time that McCall's been on base this evening. One via walk, one via hit by pitch, and one via single. First and third situation here. It's going to bring I think we got another pinch hitter here. What's the number on this boy? 4? Nope, this is Humphreys, who pinch hit for Eli Cook last time. So second AB now for Humphreys. Humphreys popped out to the second baseman in his first AB in the fifth.
Now batting number 4, Mason Humphreys.
Oh, Humphreys. They didn't put any emphasis on the H there. I like that. Humphreys. Is that a Southern thing, or is that just the old delayed steal, trying to draw a throw? But McCall's going to go down to second without drawing the throw. It's one thing about high school baseball. I want to see better first and third situations. I hate the non-competitive. Just take it. You know? I mean, Olmsted's got the arm, but I'm trying to be safe here. 8-2. Oof. Right over the shoulders. Say almost tatted his scaps there. So Ledbetter, he's grinding, he's trying. Nobody out. First base is open, infield's in. Oof, misses down and low. Down and in, I should say. Well, was hoping for a closer battle. It was close for the first 3 innings. That 4th inning, they put the first crooked number up with a 4 spot, made it 5-0. Crest stormed back for 2 to make it 5-2, but Burns just, might have a play, but Ledbetter not covering home. If he is covering home,
here comes the second one.
Yep. Well, this is where you got to dig down deep and still try to play some baseball in a tough game, because that wild pitch led to both run scoring, and that's why Burns is, that's disciplined baseball. So we never did learn who that pinch runner was for Tony, but he scores. McCall comes all the way around. And Humphreys, did he draw a walk on that?
Yep.
It's probably the most productive walk ball 4 you could ask for right there.
Well, good time to mention our travel home and away sponsor, Red Bridges Barbecue. Here comes another crunch from Ryan.
Delicious.
Loving these pork rinds over here. Big thank you to Red Bridges. Just a little bit about what they're sponsoring today. As a travel sponsor, they're helping Baseball University with the travel expenses we encountered throughout the spring and helping us with gas, food, and in some cases lodging. As our home team sponsor, they are sponsoring the time that we put towards marketing this game to coaches and editing and posting highlights for the Crest Charger prospects with recruiting and scouting content on social media for the coaches post-game. And as our away team sponsor, doing the same for our Burns Bulldog prospects. So we appreciate Red Bridges for being our travel home and away, a clean sweep, sponsoring all aspects of Baseball University.
So Jeremiah Lowe. Jeremiah Lowe going to be our next pitcher here. I say Jeremiah is versatile infielder, outfielder. Kind of hoping he goes JUCO route. You know what I mean? I've seen, and I've talked to Coach McFarland about some of the options that Jeremiah's got. He's a good ball player. I think just sometimes when in doubt and you're just not sure what you want to do, go JUCO. Can't stress it enough. I wish I would have done it when I was younger. It's a different time, different era. It was that era in the 90s and early 2000s where it's like, yeah, just take on all the debt and then be a teacher. But, I think Wyatt, McSwain, Parker, Ramsey, we talked about those two. They're going to Cleveland Community College. That's going to be very affordable for them. They may even be able to live at home their first year being in county. And, if they blow up, they put up the right numbers, those JUCO transfers are getting about 65% plus athletic offers if they're performing, if they're a guy. And I just don't see a lot of 4-year schools of the D1, D2, NAIA, those schools that have some 4-year money. I just don't see them investing in an 18-year-old prospect unless they're just a can't miss dog, and that means not only do they have the talent, but they have the selflessness, the team mentality, the baseball IQ, like kind of like you're seeing with a lot of these Burns ball players tonight, just knowing the game. It does not surprise me after watching these guys for the first time tonight. It does not surprise me that they've been to the state championship the last 2 years. Again, runner-up last year, winner in 2023. We'll see if Jeremiah Lowe can stop the bleeding, keep this game within 10 runs. So 8 now, but again, once it gets to that 10 runs, that's where things get hairy, because if they give up 2 more runs in this inning, and then they go 1, 2, 3 in the 6th, and Chad McMahon's going to be asking to move up from a 7th inning sponsor. Yeah, Jeremiah made some highlight reel plays at second base in that West Henderson game, playing shortstop tonight. Hard ground ball down to third base line by Hoyle, and that's going to score the 11th run. So Humphreys comes around to score. That was Hoyle with the double, right?
Yeah.
So, man, he's making a good case for player of the game. Let me double check what number out these dang powdered blue jerseys with these silver numbers. Ask Mr. Putnam again. He's been my go-to. That was still Hoyle right there hitting, right? Cool. All right. I was going to tell Coach Leonhardt after the game, these powdered blues with silver numbers are killing me. Oh, it's pretty uniform. Announcers hate them. Joking with Colby Putnam's father. He's been really helpful today, trying to help us get caught up with some of these Burns players. He's a big fan of all these seniors, too. He's been saying, like, they got to go play ball. They're too talented not to go play in college somewhere. I don't disagree. This Hoyle kid should play baseball for a couple more years. Again, I got a coach texting me saying that he knows that kid's going to be 88, 92 one day. He's done gone, what was that, 2 for 4. And his other is the 0 for 2 of that 2 for 4 was reaches non-errors, which if you're Hunter Street, you believe
1,000 OBP.
You believe it's an OBP number.
He's been on base every time. He's had the opportunity to score a run every time. That's 1,000 OBP. Count it. Sabermetrics.
You need to do a sabermetric breakdown and analytical presentation at like the next ACE or with ACBAs or whatever, or ABCA.
The sabermetric spring analytic conference is going on, I believe, this week. Maybe it's always around spring break for colleges.
Is that a physical spot or is it an online thing?
It's both. So for students, you're able to get it online, and so I did it last year online because I wasn't able to travel to Arizona for it, but. It was some cool presentations.
You've read Moneyball, right?
Oh, yeah.
Strike 3. So Jeremiah Lowe trying to stop the bleeding here, keep it a 9-run game, give themselves 2 more full ABs. It's going to bring number 9 hitter.
Now batting number 1,
Williams.
Nick Williams.
Nick Williams been having a pretty solid game from the 9 hole. He put the sack bunt down in the 4th that led to a throwing error. He ended up scoring a run in that inning. Struck out the other 2 times. So he ain't been a lot put in the air tonight. I don't think he's had a chance in right field. But one of many seniors, one of 12 seniors on his Burns Bulldogs baseball squad. I'm very impressed with them this evening. Some of the cleanest baseball we've seen played this year. Maybe the cleanest. I mean, a couple errors in the field, but overall, no mental errors. You can handle a physical error here and there, but in my opinion, there's been 5 total errors for Crest. I think each one of them had a little bit of a mental aspect to them as well. And some of these pitchers are working a little slow. Maybe they don't pitch much, but got to get you guys off their heels and keep them bouncy out there. So 1 out. Boyle at second base is a key run for Burns. If he comes around to score here, then Crest will be forced to score in the bottom of the sixth to extend the game. It's ball 4. Williams going to go down to first base, second time on base this evening. And that's going to bring big,
Now batting
strong
number
Marshall
24,
McGowan to the plate.
Marshall McGowan.
Marshall ain't had a pitch to really swing at the whole game. Lund struck him out in the first inning on a 3-2 pitch. In the third inning, he worked a 3-2 count before drawing the walk. Walked in the fourth, walked in the fifth. The Western Carolina D1 commit. He's a very good baseball player. Hits a lot of home runs too. I'm not 100% sure how many he hit last year, but I want to say it might have been close to like 9 or 10.
Wow.
He can swing it.
Getting a good one up there.
And I lied earlier. I said the first time I ever seen him was 9th grade year with East Rutherford. I did see him there, but I actually now remember I saw him play in 8th grade. I think he was on one of those 5-star teams. And I remember asking about him, and the coach out there was like, he's in 8th grade. And I was like, what? He already looked like an NFL linebacker at that age, it seemed. Say both these teams have done a good job producing college talent. You know, I think we mentioned a few of Coach Leonhardt's alumni. Want to go back and give some attention to here it is, yep. So we were checking in with some of our Crest alumni earlier. I know Asher Rings over at Wake Tech. They're having a pretty good year. Wake Tech seems to have some interest in our Western North Carolina players. Tyler Smart, we saw him earlier in the year over at Cleveland Community College. Again, a lot of these local high school ball players are one of the reasons that Cleveland Community College, takes them and develops them. They're number 23 in the nation right now. Colby Humphreys and Tucker McSwain down at Limestone still, D2. Down there in South Carolina. And Brody Lewis still at St. Andrews. So, again, Crest has 5 players, current alumni, still currently playing college ball somewhere. And, again, we mentioned Coach John Grigg of Cleveland. He played for Coach Leonhardt in high school before going to Lenore Ryan, had a good career there, and now the head coach at Cleveland. That ball's sky to see if Knapp's got a beat on it. He does. Makes the catch for the second out. Fouls out to the first baseman. So final line on McGowan, most likely 0 for 2 with 3 walks and a run scored and 2 stolen bases.
Now batting number 3.
They got
Colby
that Meineke
Putnam.
Fleet key of the game correct. Just don't give certain batters anything to hit. Like McGowan's one of those guys you just don't want to give him anything in the zone unless you're just forced to. That brings Putnam to the plate. Gardner Webb commit. He's very much the same way as McGowan. You got to be careful with him. Putnam 1 for 3, had the big 2 RBI single in the fourth. Walked his last AB. Drew Dixon on the deck. If he can come to the plate, then Burns will have batted around. Swing, pop fly in a center field, Rayfield in, stutters his feet, makes the easy catch for out number 3. So still a 9-run game. Looks like we're gonna have a 7-inning game total then. So almost bats around. Well, let's discuss our 6th-inning sponsor one more time. Again, Sheldon Reed, big fan of him. Former Spartanburg Methodist Pioneer, I believe, and then former Clemson Tiger. So he was a JUCO route product. And then he went on to play professional baseball for a few seasons in the Twins and Cubs organization, I believe. Sheldon Reed down at House of Power. He's offering one-on-one lessons for hitting, pitching, and catching, strength and conditioning programs to develop explosive power. They offer facility membership so you can come in and train on your own schedule. And they offer cage rentals for individuals and teams. Conveniently located down there in Mills River. You can find them at HOPHendersonville.com. Again, that's HOP for House of Power, HOPHendersonville.com. And remember, as part of our partnership with House of Power, Make sure to use the coupon code BBUWNC when you sign up for your first lesson for a 25% discount. Again, you're going to use HOPHendersonville.com to make your purchases for lesson packages. Make sure you use BBUWNC for a 25% discount code or 25% discount on your first lesson.
Big swing of the game.
I guess it's Putnam's.
That double.
Well, I was going to say,
double.
if you're looking for pure pop, it's
That
Landry
double.
Olmstead. Yep. Landry Olmstead hit one about 100 miles per hour off the green fencing out there in left center field. Almost left the yard. That's definitely your biggest swing of the game. I'd say probably your most timely swing of the game was the Putnam 2-run single. But, yeah, Landry Olmstead with the big house of power swing of the game. Well, heading into the bottom of the sixth, looks like we got another new arm out here. They're going to save Jackson Toney for later in the week with a couple conference games coming up. Trying to catch a number on this sidearm swing. What was that, 3 or 7 on him? Looks like 7. So we're going to say that is Nate DeRizzi.
Now batting number 18, Luke Rayfield.
Okay, so Luke DeRizzi. In the pitch, also a senior. So let's see. On Tony goes 1 1/3. Doesn't give up any runs. He gives up 1 hit, the double to Olmstead, 2 walks, and collects 2 Ks. So 0 runs for Tony. And again, DeRizzi, the sidearm slinger senior, coming in. So we've seen a couple drop-down guys in this game. So through 5. Again, Nate DeRizzi, one of 12 seniors on this Burns Bulldogs squad. Facing the lefty, Luke Rayfield. Luke Rayfield gets into one, puts it back into right field, and is out of the reach. So it is out of the reach of Williams out there. So that's going to be a double to lead off the 6 for Luke Rayfield. Luke Rayfield on the day. Look at him, 2 for 2 with a double, single, and a walk. It's a good game for the young man.
Double by Rayfield brings up number 1, Jeremiah Lowe.
Remember, Luke Rayfield's a freshman, so he's going to be around for a while. Some good freshmen in this game. The starting pitcher, Lund. The catcher for Burns, Yates Toney. So we've seen a lot of good 28 talent in the last couple weeks. Hunter Mason from Brevard was our CamWood Bats player of the game on Friday. He was a freshman for Will Lindsay there. The Blue Devils looked real good on the bump. Back to the top here with Jeremiah Lowe. Swing and fouls one off of his cleat. Lands in foul territory, but only after it struck his foot. Whew. Well, it's cold. Score's gotten away from Crest a little bit, but as long as we got these pork rinds, I can sit here all night long. Again, Redbridge is hooking us up. Like a little sidearm slinger. It makes sense that they'd have this in their bullpen. You know, a very well-rounded team. Everybody's got their role. Good spot.
Let's go, Jerry. Come on.
So Jeremiah Lowe started the day at shortstop. He's currently on the mound for Crest. There's a bouncer to third. Picks it up, throws across. They're going to try to snag Rayfield. Rayfield is going to come in and score the 3rd run of the game for Crest. So it's going to be a 5-3 ground out for Lowe. They throw it back behind him. I guess that's E3.
One out now for number 11.
Rayfield to
Wyatt
score.
McSwain.
So bases are empty again with 1 out. Wyatt McSwain to the plate. Wyatt 0 for 3 on the evening. Remind me, we got to get him his popcorn and his Poppy's handcrafted popcorn player of the week certificate after the game. He's our Week 1 Player of the Week. Again, Caleb Cloninger of North Gaston High School stopped by earlier in the game. They're off today. Friends with many of these Crest ball players. He drove up here to say hi, hopped on the broadcast for a second, grabbed his bag of popcorn, his certificate, and if he was my guess, he's probably been enjoying some popcorn over there. Probably hoping for a better game for his buddies, but I've seen stranger things. We've seen a lot of comebacks from 7-0, 8-0 here early in the Scout Streaming Series. It's a good job by DeRizzi just staying in the bottom of the zone. Just everything's got a lead weight to it. Staying in the very bottom of that strike zone. So I'm saying, look at that spot. Another senior that, again, probably hasn't shown interest in going to college to play, but could very well throw somewhere. I'm a big fan of the sidearm slingers. Nice curveball. That's about as good as it gets from that arm slot. Yeah, we got a lot of drop down arms in Western North Carolina.
Now
Usually
batting
around
number 7,
maybe freshman,
Landry
sophomore year, you kind of, you like pitching, but you kind of realize you may not have the stuff to go over the top and compete with those mid-80s, 90s arms. Figure out a good slot, a good off-speed mix, come in and be a 1-2 inning guy. Oh, that's about, I'll say DeRizzi left the ball up there, and Olmstead is going to put another one in the gap. It's going to be a single. So Olmstead with a quietly having a good day. He's 2 for 3 with a double, single, and a walk. His only out being a line out to the pitcher.
Now batting number 16, Eli Black.
So 2 outs here. I would say that was by far the most elevated pitch that DeRizzi's thrown. I knew it right out the hand, and so did Olmstead. There he goes, getting back towards the bottom of the zone. Getting chilly. Let's check the old weather app, see what we're at right now. There's a big swing by Black, and that's going to fade out into right center field. Ooh, that's about as long a single as you can get, but when you hit it about 100 off the bat. So 2 singles on the day for Eli, a bloop single, and then a scorcher off the center field fence.
Now batting number 3, Zach Rayfield.
Bring Zach Rayfield to the plate. Zach walked his last time up. "47 degrees here in Shelby. So they're probably going to drop down another 2 degrees here in the next few. So best chance of the night now for Crest to get something going. Ooh, goes behind him. It's going to sneak all the way slowly to the backstop. It's going to allow I guess that wasn't Olmstead running there. He had a pinch runner again who I think was Pettis. Let's see. Yep, that's Lyric Pettis running for Olmstead. There comes in to score on the pass ball. Eli Black moving up to second base, so score is now 11-4. Foul back over the field house there. Well, it'd be nice to have 3 days off from broadcast here after this, try to catch up on a few things. We got films to edit, got college coaches to catch up with, 26 grads to catch up with, a couple 25 grads still to catch up with. Once the season starts, it gets hectic for everybody. It's hard to catch players and coaches alike. Usually got to start phone calls by about 7 a.m. to catch some of these guys. There's a swing, left center field. Left fielder didn't have to move much to catch that. And Drew Dixon hauls it in for out number 3. Well, we are going to the 7th inning. Chad McMahon is stoked.
Yeah, he's
After
happy.
What was it, Brevard game? Yeah, we had a
Yeah. We do it
6-inning game. So 7th inning, our sponsor is State Farm, Chad McMahon. Just like your favorite baseball team, State Farm is here to knock it out of the park with great insurance coverage. From home, auto, life, or health, they got the right coverage to protect what matters the most to you. Give Chad McMahon State Farm a call or send him a text to 828-452-0567, or feel free to stop by his office in Waynesville, Haywood County. Working together with you, they'll make sure you have customized protection tailored to your individual needs with world-class local service. Chad McMahon State Farm, here to help life go right. I won't say he's the official insurance of Baseball University, but he's the official insurance of Ryan Cook. So, recently switched over, saved a few bucks, and got better coverage on the home, especially after we installed our wood stove. So, we appreciate Chad McMahon. I know his son has started his college baseball career at Surrey Community College, getting some reps at shortstop, trying to get his bat going a little bit, but that's college. Hitting's a lot harder when you're seeing it 85, 86 plus all the time. It ain't like high school when you'd see 75, 76 plus. Well, due up for your Burns Bulldogs are Drew Dixon, Yates Tony, and Camden McCall. Drew Dixon 0 for 4 on the evening. Almost batted around in the 6th inning, but Drew he was stranded in that on-deck circle. And heard good things about Drew from Coach Leonhardt before the game. He's expressed an interest to play at the college level. There's a big old pop-up right to the third baseman. So he's playing third now. Is that Ledbetter that went back in there? Nope, that's Eli Black, moved in from the outfield. So Eli, pretty versatile for a big guy. Can play third,
Now
first,
batting
left, or
number
right.
17, Yates Tony.
So Yates, up until the beginning of this game, was off to a pretty good start, batting .333 with a double home run and 5 RBIs through his first 15 ABs. Drew Dixon, who went 0 for 5 today. Is that his final line? Oof. That's not going to help. He came into the game batting .524, 11 for 21. So you do the math, 11 for 26 now. And we got, see some other stat lines on some of these boys. Max Davis came into the game batting .500 with 3 doubles. So definitely some good ball players up and down this lineup. So Yates is 0 for 3 with a walk, reached on an error. It's caught up a pretty good game overall. Must have been, I'm sure it happens more than what we just saw today, but catching your older brother with the senior freshman battery.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a second walk of the game here. Brings McCall up to the play. I think McCall's quietly had himself
Now
a good game.
number 12,
Scored
Camden
3 runs.
McCall.
Reached base on the hit by pitch, the single, and the walk. Stole 2 bases. Like I said, 3 runs scored. Only out was in the third when he ground out to short. Fouls this one back to the bricks. Whew. Well, Crest was on the cusp of the power rankings. We dropped them from the 10 spot, I think they were, last week. They had 2 tough losses to Burns and East Rutherford before the AC Reynolds win, but with some of the moving, shaking of the. Oh, nice throw by Landry Olmstead here. He's going to throw out Tony, or pinch runner, I should say. Maybe it's our chance to finally see who that was. But caught stealing. So, nice throw by Olmstead there. And Olmstead having a good offensive night as well. So 2 down now for McCall. Swing, and there's a single through the 5-5 hole. So McCall 2 for 3 on the evening, reached base 4 times. Yeah, good game. Good game for McCall. That brings up Humphreys
Now
again.
batting number 4, Mason Humphreys.
So Mason Humphreys putting a little oomph into this ball. He came in the 5th inning. He's 0 for 1 with a walk, scored a run.
Another runner.
Takes off. Olmstead throws it
Got
down.
him.
Little snap tag,
Oh.
but not in time. So McCall steals second base. That's his 3rd steal of the game. So McCall quietly having himself a really good game. I think one of those singles was that maybe a bunt single there in the 5th. Was that him? That might have been Hoyle. So somebody dropped down a nice bunt. Nice block up by Olmstead there on a 58-footer. Say Hoyle on deck, making a strong case for player of the game. Hoyle worked 3 2/3, gave up 2 runs, 0 earned, 2 hits, 5 strikeouts. Also gone 2 for 4 at the plate with a ribby and a double. Doing it on both sides of the ball. McCall making a decent case himself, reaching base 4 times, scoring 3 runs, 3 stolen bases.
Let's go, bud.
3-0 delivery. That's right down the chute. So 2 outs here. And the pop up, the walk, the caught stealing, and the single here. After the stolen base, we find a runner on second. That's ball 4. 2 walks for Humphreys on the night. It's going to bring Hoyle to the plate. So number 9, Hoyle, started this game on the bump.
Now batting Hagan Hull.
Pitched fairly well. Probably a little bit too much on the walks. 3 walks, 5 Ks, 2 hits. Looked good, though. Velo was strong. At the plate, reached on a E5 in the 1st inning. Singled in the 4th, scored a run. Reached on a E6 in the 5th, came around to score a run. And then the RBI double in the 6th. So technically 2 for 4. Swing, and this ball's a dying quail right into the glove of the second baseman. That'll be the 3rd out of the inning. Well, Hunter, any commentary on player of the game? I was going to say, I feel like...
I'll tell you if you read this.
Yeah, I'll let him look at the box score. Chad McMahon again, State Farm Insurance, a proud sponsor of Baseball University. Good people. Called up there the other day myself to ask some questions. Very accessible, quick to answer. State Farm might be a bigger name, but Chad McMahon gives you that small town feel. Again, give him a call. Send him a text, 828-452-0567. Or if you're up near that Waynesville area, just stop in the office. I think sometimes, you're at the same insurance company for 5, 10, 15 years. Doesn't hurt to go shop around and just see what you might qualify for. Save a little money, maybe earn a little coverage. But we appreciate you, Chad McMahon. Chad McMahon State Farm here to help life go right. Say Hunter likes McCall. I was going to say it's just a matter of does McCall with a 2 for 3 night
multiple walks. Or
Eight
walking and
hit
hit
by
by
pitch, the 3 runs, 1, 2, 3 stolen bases.
Yeah.
Hoyle, 2 for 5,
yeah.
2 runs with the RBI, and then his performance on the mound.
Yeah. It's tough.
My dad on the way out said give it to the starting pitcher.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be a tough one.
I like the fact he stole a couple bases.
Yeah.
He's got on base multiple times, and he's got on base via the hit.
I was going to say, we'll
Now batting number 5, Bradley. Correction, Bradley Willis.
So pinch hitter here for Costner. Swing and a miss. This is Jackson Willis, the hitter. Jackson, the junior.
Come on, Jackson.
I say it really comes down to whether you think Hoyle gets the nod for doing it on both sides of the ball. Ran into a little trouble. Had to be bailed out by Jackson Tony. That's strike 3 to Willis. That's going to bring a pinch hitter to the plate and number 15.
Now batting number 15, Hudson Lund.
So Hudson Lund back in, so re-enters the game. Was 0 for 1. Queen came in, had the RBI ground out and a K. Lund up for a second time, re-entering here in the 7th. What position McCall play tonight? Calls the center fielder. We didn't make any errors out there. Any FO8s on the line? There's a hard ground ball right to the third baseman. Tosses it across for the easy out. Not seeing any putouts in center field, so no magic out there for a call.
Now batting number 9, Parker Ledbetter.
Is that 5-3? Hey.
I was gonna let you know I've got a file of those pictures I made last month to send you, so I will email
Oh, yeah.
one of the files that is all the different ones.
You taking pictures of this tonight?
I haven't.
I was going to say this has been
No, not tonight. This has been some of the other games that was actually.
Wow.
a good deal. I appreciate you.
Never seen that before. Foul ball off the light pole back into play.
All right, we got another pinch hitter here. This is number 9, Lyric Pettis. He'd been pinch running a little bit for Olmsted, but into the game now for Knapp. And he's their last hope here. Is a ground ball to second base, and I think this is your ball game. Yep, so 4-3 ends it. Nice job by the sidearm slinger there to come in and record the 1-2-3 in the 7th. It's a quiet end of the game. Definitely wasn't as electrifying as we'd hope in the Battle of Cleveland, but
Yeah. And
man.
Meineke Postgame. Meineke is a pregame postgame sponsor for Baseball University of the Blue Ridges, Western North Carolina Scout and Streaming Series. With numerous locations in Western North Carolina, there's no better spot to get your vehicle seen and serviced. Whether it's an oil change, brakes, mufflers, tires, and wheels, AC, you name it. Meineke is doing car care right in Western North Carolina. I'm going to go in here soon and deliberate about CamWood Bats player of the game as they shake hands.
Who's that?
Let's go ahead and just shout out real quick our Patreon. Want to help support Baseball University of the Blue Ridge? Visit our Patreon at www.patreon.com/bbuniversitywnc. The more financial support Baseball University of the Blue Ridge can earn, the more coverage of West North Carolina baseball we can bring to you, including the West North Carolina College Tour Series, Western North Carolina High School Scout and Streaming Series, Legion coverage, weekly media content, highlight films, and more. Choose which tier is right for you at www.patreon.com/bbuniversitywnc. And stay connected to Baseball University across all platforms like like and subscribe on YouTube at www.youtube.com/@bbuniversitywNC. Like us on Facebook at Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. Follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram at bbuniversitywNC. And check out our website at www.baseballu.org.
All right, let's finish up this pregame. Where are we at? All right, so player of the game. Had a long discussion, had a long talk. Hats off to McCall for having a great game, but I've decided I think Hagen Hoyle is going to be our CamWood Bats player of the game. Looking at Hagen's line, he went 3 2/3. He gave up 0 earned runs, 2 runs total. 2 hits, 3 walks, 5 Ks. I guess technically he's our winning pitcher of the evening. And then at the plate, he goes 2 for 5 with a double, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. Again, hats off to McCall. Goes 2 for 3 with 2 singles, 2 walks, and a hit by pitch and 3 runs scored. Had 3 stolen bases, but just going on both sides of the ball. Also hoping to maybe motivate the Hoyle kid to consider playing college baseball. So again, where's my CamWood card? Throw it at me.
Somewhere over there.
There it is. So player of the game. Hagen Hoyle is going to be our CamWood Bats player of the game. But let's go, before we go out there and give him his award, let's go ahead and thank CamWood one more time. They're located in Haywood County, western North Carolina. But they serve baseball and softball players all across the nation. Game bats, trainers, tees, tutorials, and more are available for purchase at CamWoodBats.com. As part of our partnership with CamWood, make sure you use that coupon code BBUWNC for a 10% discount on all purchases through the website. He's probably not in the best mood, but we got to go find Wyatt McSwain and give him his popcorn as well. We are going to be taking off for 3 days in a row to get our breath. We will be back on Friday when we're playing Hickory at East Lincoln. It'll be a 7 o'clock start.
7 o'clock. Hickory's 3-1. East Lincoln's 4-1. They play each other one time this week, and Hickory's got another game.
Yeah, they play tomorrow, I think.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a good one. I know Hickory's got the, Max McCray, I think his name is. He's the NC State grad. East Lincoln, again, just perennial winners, very good. Again, Caleb Cloniger with the complete game last week to give them their only loss. But let's go ahead and thank our sponsors one more time. Again, thank you for joining us for this evening's rendition of the Baseball University Western North Carolina Scout Streaming Series. We want to thank our sponsors, Meineke, Bloom Patch Farms, Hale Tax Solutions, American Legion Post 70, Hauling Solutions and Grading, Nova Pitching Performance, House of Power, Chad McMahon State Farm Insurance, Red Bridges. Oh, my. I hope that they give us all the leftover barbecue. And, of course, CamWood Bats. Thanks again for tuning in. We hope to see you Friday when we watch Hickory at East Lincoln. It's going to be a great conference matchup as everybody starts moving into conference play now. It's going to get real. So, signing off. We'll see you next time. Oh, my. All right. That was fun.